Match 56. Bagan vs. Everyone. Fallout. By
He's
Thomas
not
C.
allowed to have titles, no subtitles. Hey, that's cheating.
Yeah. By Thomas C.
He's the exception, not the rule.
Daylight died, with hope along with it. That's how Akane, the pilot of the kaiju fighting machine Kiryu, felt. Recently, Earth's mightiest defenders joined forces to defeat the abomination known as Bagan. Against all odds, the valiant defenders of life prevailed, but not without sacrifice. Bagan slaughtered many brave souls. On the battlefield, there was no distinction. Man and monster alike died together. Akane couldn't help but remember the late Dr. Serizawa and how he joined the first Godzilla in Oblivion. He didn't have to. He could have let the animals suffer and die alone in the freezing waters of Tokyo Bay. But Serizawa sensed a kinship with the monster. Despite their differences, it would seem they shared the same purpose in life, begetting destruction. And from that moment on, they were as one dead.
Kiryu!
Akane whispered softly.
We truly are one, aren't we?
There was a low rumble. It was very subtle. It could have been one of the machines, a hydraulic tank, or an energy reactor activating. But Akane knew better. Kiryu was alive. And on some level, however small, Serizawa and the first Godzilla were too. Akane would need their help in the face of this new threat. For now, Bagan was no longer their primary objective. He was nothing more than a beating heart left to rot. Bagan was evil incarnate, the personification of death. He was the blackest of cosmic evils in the universe.
That's racist.
When it came to single threats, Bagan was the worst. But if the forces of evil joined together, suddenly Bagan wasn't very scary. That's what Akane and her allies were up against. That's why Akane was having a hard time being optimistic.
Yeah, Bagan looks like a puppy now.
The greatest terrors man has ever known have united. Godzilla locked eyes with Space Godzilla, Destroyer, and King Ghidorah. Grand King Ghidorah, I'll note. They were his greatest adversaries. Not even Godzilla could defeat them alone. He always needed help. Regardless, Godzilla roared in defiance at his evil rivals. So what if it was suicide? Godzilla will give them hell.
Ow, the edge.
If you can't take the edge. Gamera watched the skies warily. Even if it was dark, it wouldn't matter. The wings of 1,000 Gauss could blot out the sun, with capital S. Gamera channeled his plasma. He could eradicate 3 or 4 Gauss before being consumed by the shadow of evil. The Gauss were living up to their name, but the custodian of the universe, I forgot to mention that, had more faces to fear. The alien menace Legion was once again at large, and somewhere in the midst of the Gauss swarm, their mutated prodigy, Iris, was pulling the strings. Mothra Leo remained telepathically linked to his allies. He wasn't powerful enough to mind control them. What? Okay.
I think we all know who the real villain of this story is.
Mothra Leo,
Show
clearly.
Yeah, I guess maybe it's just the Cosmos or Shobinjin or whoever maybe linking them all together. Maybe that's implied, but I don't know.
Yeah.
But it says he. Man, what the frick?
It's a trap.
All he could do was persuade them to remain vigilant. Descador tried provoking the benevolent deity by torching a nearby forest. Dagara mocked Mothra Leo's calm state by threatening him. Gamora, Ultraman, Batra, Rodan, Bylante, and Kiryu prepared to support their heavy hitters. They were all in this together. If they failed, life would never be the same. Gigan, Kumasogami, and Megaguirus waited for the strongest in their ranks to launch the attack. But it was not their strongest. It was their dumbest. Megalon's horn crackled with electricity, discharging yellow-hued lightning bolts into Batra's face. All hell broke loose.
Beer Batra.
Yeah. Batra retaliated, blasting Megalon relentlessly with his prism beams. Megalon howled in misery as Batra's beams disintegrated everything they touched. The Cetopian god couldn't return fire. Batra's attacks were too strong. Kumosogami sought to kill Batra.
Ow, the edge.
He didn't do it to save Megalon. The demon cared little for the deformed insect. I guess that would be the right terminology, or whatever.
Yeah.
Kumosogami wanted a rematch. So Batra versus Kumosogami round 2. Here we go. Burning arrows seared the air, harpooning Batra's thick hide. If the weight of the arrows could not bring the mighty protector down, their explosions would. Batra watched Batra. Anyway, Akane watched Batra plummet.
Oh, we gotta put that for Kaiju X 2017 quote.
Yeah, Kaiju X 2017. Batra watched Batra plummet. Anyway.
Maybe Batra found himself.
The larva and the Omega were going at it. Anyway. Akane watched Batra plummet. She wanted to help him, but she and Kiryu had to defend themselves. Gigan used his chainsaw arms as tractors, ripping up the earth as he charged Kiryu. Using his thrusters, Gigan jumped up, moving to rip Kiryu apart with his chainsaws. Kiryu raised his arms to defend himself. As soon as the chainsaw met armor, sparks flew. Gigan swiftly hacked away at Kiryu's arms, trying in vain to damage the robot. But little by little, the cyborg made progress. For every blow Gigan landed, his chainsaws weakened Kiryu's armor. Kiryu transformed one of his hands into a drill. In his other, an electric saber flashed out of his wrist. Kiryu deflected Gigan's chainsaws with his drill, creating an opening. With all his strength, Kiryu thrusted his electric saber deep into Gigan's chest. Kiryu pumped electricity into Gigan, frying the cyborg's internal circuitry. Gigan screamed as his insides malfunctioned. Kumosogami bent down, preparing to cut Batra apart. Gamora tackled the demon. Hey, I'm gonna win!
It's my fight! It's my fight!
Pounding his molten infested face with a series of punches. Only punches. Kumosogami fired burning arrows into Gamora's rigged chest. The Horned Saurian steamed as the arrows detonated. I'm supposed to win, not lose. But Kumosogami overpowered him, tossing Gamora like a toy with his fearsome strength. Gamora felt the ground rise as his body sunk deeper into it. He tried clawing his way out of the earth that spawned him, but Kumosogami was there to stomp him deeper into his grave. Gamora wailed a challenge not only Kumosogami but death itself.
Ooh,
To not only Kumosogami but death itself. I'm gonna win! This place will not become his tomb. Kumosogami would try to prove him wrong. The demon bombarded Gamora with his exploding arrows. Pillars of fire sailed into the night sky, burning the hole in the ground and its prisoner. Megaguirus grazed the winds, striking Ultraman with her wing. Right as he fell down, Ultraman was back on his feet. Energy beams blazed out of his hands, hitting nothing but air. Megaguirus was too fast for him to score a direct hit. In a burst of supersonic speed, Megaguirus flew around the Warrior of Light and buried her pincers deep into his back. Ow. Ultraman shouted his displeasure, falling forward. Megaguirus didn't let him go. She kept her pincers buried deep in his backside. Oh my. Anyway. Before any permanent damage could be inflicted, Biolante's vines entangled Megaguirus and pulled her to the ground so hard it knocked the wind out of her. Anyway. Free of Megaguirus' foul grip, Ultraman wanted to share his pain with the demented dragonfly. Megaguirus felt the giant humanoid pound her face with its fists, but Megaguirus would not be so easily beaten. Of course, because Ultraman should have used his Spacian Beam or his Halo Cutter. I'm just saying.
Nerd.
Her wings vibrated so fast into obscurity. Is that used? Her wings vibrate so fast into obscurity. Is that right?
That's kind of weird.
I don't think that's right.
I'd be shocked if it is, but maybe it was a different word that's very similar. I don't know. Whatever. Whatever. Megagearus' wings can now go obscure. So.
Well,
Whatever.
yeah. When they did fly, they become almost like invisible because they were moving
Well,
so
yeah,
fast.
yeah. Well, yeah, I get that, but I don't know. Into obscure. That's just kind of. I don't know. Could have been phrased differently. I don't know. Biolance's vines were torn apart. The mammoth Godzilla plant hybrid cried out as Megagearus broke free. Using her speed, Megagearus buried her tail blade deep into Ultraman's chest cavity. The light in Ultraman's dome-shaped eyes began to fade. He could feel Megagearus ripping his life force out of him. Biolante sprayed her acid onto Megagearus' back. Megagearus screeched as the acid ate away at her flesh. Unable to stick around long enough to suck Ultraman dry, Megagearus left him alone to engage Biolante. Gathering Ultraman's stolen power, Megagearus funneled it into her abdominal region and discharged it in the form of a glowing sphere. Biolante felt it explode against her face. Although it inflicted no visible wounds, it was strong enough to give Biolante a concussion. A helpless Ultraman watched as his largest ally fell. The Gauss haven't attacked yet. Gamera knew they alone could destroy him and his friends. If he didn't think of something soon, they'd be nothing but corpses come morning. Flames hissed in the back of Gamera's throat. The Guardian of the Universe decided it would be best to pay Iris a visit. If he could kill him...
I haven't seen him in a while. You could use a friend.
Yeah, I've been wanting to visit you for a while, buddy. How's the South Side doing? Oh, it collapsed. I'm sorry. I got out of a bad relationship with Godzilla. It was awkward. If he could kill him, then perhaps the Gauss would kill each other long before they noticed him. Gamera's legs disappeared in columns of smoke. Azure flame propelled Gamera into the dark heavens. A few Gauss flew down to meet him, cackling like crows. They were taunting him. Gamera disintegrated them with his fireballs. Balls of burning plasma lit up the night sky, acting as a beacon to the Gauss swarm. The burning Gauss carcasses never hit the ground. Gauss were well known for their cannibalistic tendencies. Dang, that must take some dedication to not only eat your own sibling, but while they're on fire falling. That's dedication. Then again, there are a buttload of them, but still.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta heat them hot.
Oh, right, eat them hot, yeah, you're right. Gamera flew through the Gauss horde, clawing the reptilian vultures aside. None of them attacked. Gamera's heart was racing. He had fought these devils all his life. Not once did they ever demonstrate such patience. They were like ravenous locusts, driven by an insatiable hunger. Gamera sensed a greater hand at work here. Iris was really controlling the Gauss. As Gamera approached the clearing akin to the eye of a storm, he finally located Iris. Suspended in midair, surrounded by his 4 wavering tentacles, Iris boomed a challenge to the Guardian of the Universe. Gamera accepted. He tuckered his head and limbs into his shell, spinning like a flying saucer. On command, dozens of Gauss sliced the winds with their sonic beams. They bounced off Gamera's shell, ripping other Gauss apart. Iris braced himself. Gamera crashed into the false prophet. Spinning so fast he pushed Iris across the night sky. Iris felt the rigid winds overlap him as he prepared to put a stop to this. Using his scythe appendage, Iris thrusted it so hard it tore into Gamera's spinning shape. Gamera Wait, what?
You said Iris thrusted, so whoa.
Oh, okay, thrust. Oh my. Gamera cried out as he came to a halt. Both monsters continued to soar through the air, but this time Iris was in control. Oh man, he's the dominant one here. All 4 tentacles lashed out as Gamera's head emerged out of its shell. Each of Iris's tentacles ended in sharp metallic ends. Within seconds, Iris knocked Gamera unconscious by smacking him with his tentacles. Green blood dripped from Iris's tentacles while gravity pulled the comatose guardian down. Oh no, gravity's working against Gamera now.
And I don't want to know.
Akane screamed as Kiryu electrocuted the cyborg known as Bagan. The bright flashes of light Kiryu's electric saber emitted blinded all spectators. If there was anyone watching, I'm sorry. Seizure warning. Anyway, Bagan thrashed madly, bashing Kiryu's face with his massive chainsaws. Black smoke seeped out of the cracks of Gaigan's armor. The cyborg had been turned into an oven. Oh man, that chicken must be delicious. Anyway, Bagan had enough. He raised his chainsaws nice and high. Oh, nice and high. Not just high, nice and high. Anyway.
Oh, yeah, I'm glad we knew that.
Before bringing them down. Kiryu tried backpedaling, but he wasn't fast enough. Bagan shattered Kiryu's electric saber, damaging his arm in the process. Akane ignored the computers as they reported damages she was already aware of. Thinking quickly, Kiryu uppercutted Gaigan's neck with his drill hand. Dang! Bagan's thrust lifted him hundreds of meters above his robotic foe. Crimson energy seared out of Gaigan's one eye, creating a cloister of explosions. Kiryu ignored the weak attack and answered with his energy blast. Electricity blazed at Gaigan's chest, inflicting minor damage. On Gaigan's chest, 2 tiny slits opened. Razor-sharp discs launched out. Kiryu deflected one of them with his drill. The other punctured his left shoulder with ease. Akane couldn't believe how effortlessly those discs had punched through Kiryu's armor. Bagan watched Kiryu's damaged arm sizzling with smoke. The cyborg shrieked with laughter. Kiryu found out the hard way. Gaigan's discs were homing weapons, designed to cut their target apart repeatedly. Kiryu tried deflecting them with his drill, but he missed them both. The discs cleaved their way out of Kiryu's chest, returning to their master. Akane surveyed the damage. The Absolute Zero cannon might have been damaged. Kiryu dropped to his knees, bellowing a digital cry. Akane couldn't worry about the condition of their most powerful weapon. The goal was to survive the here and now. Bagan answered by firing his discs again. Kiryu tried shooting them down. Wait, what?
Not the disc nipples.
Oh gosh, yeah. Nipple, twink. Oh! Anyway. Kiryu tried shooting them down with his electric beam. It was enough to interfere with the electromagnetic frequencies Bagan used to control one, but the other grazed Kiryu's mouth and cheek. Akane panicked as her beloved fighting machine went down in flames. Oh, I love you so much. Anyway, pass.
Okay. So, Moto erupted out of Desghidorah's 3 mouths. White hot beams lanced out of Mothra Leo's forehead, stabbing into Desghidorah's bony armor. Desghidorah's painful shrieks echoed throughout the region, emboldening Mothra Leo's mission. Imbued with divinity, Mothra Leo tackled Desghidorah. Not even a Leviathan like Desghidorah could keep its footing. Mothra Leo sent the planet killer flying. Mothra Leo didn't have time to celebrate. Dagara's fiery energies mercilessly bombarded the Paladin warrior. Mothra Leo is the most powerful force for good on the planet. I would beg to differ. But not even Dagara had burned the deity with. But Mothra Leo didn't succumb to the searing sensations. Seeking out the sea dragon, Mothra Leo fired a powerful emerald energy blast out of his abdomen. It drove Dagara deep beneath the earthy crust. Surveyed the impact crater, hoping Dagara wasn't dead. With all his power, Leo needed something to hit. There was a putrid fragrance in the air. It settled after Bagan's defeat. Leo knew it was guilt. How he wasn't fast enough to save his mother from a gruesome death. hate.
Yeah.
Alright. Gray Shot, I'm
Yeah, I
gonna
think
need you
so.
to start from, the putrid, there was a putrid fragrance in the air. You're gonna need to start from there. Gray Shot?
From where?
Yeah, I'm looking. I'm looking.
Yeah, there was a putrid fragrance in the air.
You
Yeah, hang on a
What's that?
sec. There's my internet.
what is there? Like,
There was a putrid fragrance in the flagrance in the air.
oh, putrid flagrance in the air. It settled out. Leo knew it was guilt. How he wasn't fast enough. Mother, his holy heart. Her hearted soul becomes huge. Apparently, Desgadora tried shooting fireballs. That's what happens.
So,
He learned-
So Mothra.
Basically. He learned the hard way what happens. Leo unloaded a seemingly endless wave of energy. Most durable creatures in the cosmos. But not even he could wade through the sea of blistering heat. Mothra Leo watched the gaunt dragon to unleash another wave. Mothra to return so soon and slammed into Leo like a rocket, clamping his jaws around Mothra's underbelly. This rage drowned out whatever pain he might have been experiencing. Energy bolts ripped out of Mothra, torching Dagara. Dagara high tolerance for pain, so when Dagara released, Mothra Leo knew he wasn't holding back. On Mothra Leo discovered his folly. Dagara deity at point base. Wait, at point blank? Okay. That's a little off. Mothra Leo shaked off the heat, but Dagara was quick to pounce on the giant moth, pushing him downwards. When he hit Earth, Leo felt the ground smash into him, as one would do when you plummet to the ground. Dagara glared at the creature pinned beneath his mighty paws. Blue lightning pulsated around his shoulders. Large horns grew out of where sacks designed to shoot his acid-spewing bear used to be. Mothra Leo's multi-faced eyes witnessed Dagara's transformation. It looked like Leo had greatly underestimated his opponents that he's killed before. Okay?
Yes, I know.
Desgadora stomped over to where Leo was trapped. There was only one thing Leo could do. Mothra Leo's body started glowing bright. Dagara and Desgadora were about to fire. Suddenly, Leo exploded into thousands of tiny glowing moths. Dagara and Desgadora roared in displeasure as the tiny moths buried their burning bodies into their hides. Finally, a blinding light enveloped them both. A powerful shockwave blew them back, heralding Mothra Leo's reformation. Leo unleashed an onslaught of holy light. Dagara and Desgadora disappeared in the landscape, leveling explosions. Mothra Leo evaded their attacks with ease. With his foes beaten to a pulp, I'm sure a bloody one at that, Mothra Leo turned his sights to the skies. Accelerating faster than the speed of sound, Mothra Leo flew into the Gauss-infested skies. I'm just saying this right now. Best tactic if you were Mothra in the skies, put your pollen everywhere and have the Gauss shoot.
Oh,
That
man,
would-
that
Yeah.
would be. Oh, that would be interesting.
Yeah, that'd be a good
would.
idea. Hey,
Yeah,
look,
it would literally just slice them and dice them. Oh, that'd be beautiful.
Oh,
hey,
man.
look, Great
Gotta
Shot
keep
came
that
up
one in
with a
mind.
good idea for once.
I will find you. In any case, Godzilla showed no hesitation in the face of such impossible odds. The king of the monsters expelled destructive crimson energies, recoiling from the discharge. The first Godzilla hit was Destroya. The Cambrian terror lost its upper torso in a cloud of fire, smoke, and exploding flesh. Destroya disappeared in a mist. When it showed itself again, Destroya looked as if it had never been harmed. The second Kaiju Godzilla's right hit was the nefarious Space Godzilla. The cosmic dragon bent light as he warped dimensions, manifesting a crystallized barrier, apologies, out of thin air. Godzilla's ray deflected harmlessly off its reflective surface. The third and last Kaiju, Godzilla's ray hit, barely noticed he was being attacked. Red ionized plasma washed over King Ghidorah's golden scales. But the scales within a microsecond absorbed and manipulated the power of Godzilla's ray, using it to create an invisible shield. All King Ghidorah felt was the sweltering heat of Godzilla's heat beam. To the three-headed dragon, it was nothing compared to the stars he had traversed upon for eons. Seeing his strongest attack fail sent a chill up Godzilla's spine. All but one primal instinct completed with Godzilla to run for his life. Pride. Godzilla refused to surrender. That arrogance would cost him dearly. Destroy his flesh, dissolving ray blasted Godzilla off his feet. Godzilla felt the smoldering crater in his chest burn. Destroyer marveled at the at damage, he Destroy a
At
marvel
the damage.
That's weird. Yeah. Hey guys, it's an AT-AT.
AT-AT.
Vampires come to help us.
Destroy a marveled at the damage he had brought. Wanting to inflict more damage, Destroya bombarded Godzilla with his lavender-hued beams of death. Godzilla spat atomic flames in Destroya's face, forcing the crustacean horror back off for the time being. But before Godzilla could rise to his feet, Space Godzilla's Corona beam carved into his torso. Godzilla stabbed the earth with his dorsal spines as he fell. Like before, Godzilla's instincts compelled him to run. But how can he run in this condition? Corona beams detonated the ground around Godzilla's face. Godzilla knew Space Godzilla was toying with him now. Enraged, Godzilla's dorsal spines burned red hot, boiling the soil. Godzilla jumped to his feet, firing his signature attack. Space Godzilla watched with boredom as Godzilla's atomic ray blast raced to meet him. His shoulder crystals flashed, acknowledging the wishes of its master. Once again, a crystallized barrier manifested, parting Godzilla's crimson fire. Godzilla was about to express his frustration before noticing he was being lifted out of the churning earth. Godzilla was so caught up in his fight with Space Godzilla, he hadn't even felt Destroya's tail latching onto his neck. With unparalleled strength, Destroya threw Godzilla into a nearby hill. King Ghidorah watched on with great interest. The King of Terror could see Godzilla's power steadily increasing. The longer he fights, the stronger he'll become. King Ghidorah was looking forward to harvesting Godzilla's awesome power. Once upon a time, Godzilla visited this world in its
Ghidorah.
Sorry.
Wow, great shot.
Sorry. Ghidorah time, just dinosaurs walks the earth. God, I don't know what the heck is with me. Ghidorah drove them into extinction, unintentionally paving the way for mankind's ancestors. But it would appear Ghidorah missed a couple dinosaurs. Amidst the cries of war, King Ghidorah heard a familiar rhyme. Throughout his wretched existence, Ghidorah has heard many different heartbeats, but this one he knew belonged to the Avatar of Death. Unbeknownst to the warring monsters, Bagan's heart was slowly regenerating. King Ghidorah was ashamed to admit how threatened he felt by a mere beating heart. He wanted to attack it. Ghidorah knew he wouldn't dare. In his own twisted way, King Ghidorah secretly envied Bagan. This is why he has to come to pay his respects. A little long. Bagan's second coming was unavoidable, unless you shot it, and then it would be completely avoidable.
Yes.
And when the devil is reborn, King Ghidorah will be there to kill him and take his place. This is feeling like a bad episode of Dragon Ball when Vegeta's like, I could take Perfect Cell, and then Cell basically one-shots him.
Yeah, pretty much.
Great shot. Don't question Tom's genius.
I'm just saying, it's always thank you for letting me power up to my final form, and then just destroys everything before, Deus Ex Machina just comes out of nowhere. Deus Ex Machina just comes out of nowhere.
Pretty much.
Any case, back to the match of excitingness. Kamasugami's burning orbs watched the flames flicker. Before him was a gigantic coal. Wait, what?
There's the orbs.
The orbs have returned.
The orbs.
Believed to be Gamora's resting place, it was there Kamasugami sprayed him with explosive arrows, consuming the horned reptile in a baptism of fire. And it was here Kamasugami had every reason to believe Gamora was dead. But when the ground started to shake, the demon quickly learned he was wrong. Gamora burst out of the soil, burnt skin shedding from his bulk. With lightning speed, Gamora battered Kamasugami off his feet with his tail. Kamasugami gritted his teeth, drooling hot magma as he did. The demon would never underestimate Gamora again. But Gamora wasn't going to give him another chance. Burning seismic energies erupted out of Gamora's horn, crashing into Kamasugami's chest. Kamasugami screamed as Gamora's ray broke his chest apart. Kamasugami's molten veins sprayed out of his shattered chest, scorching the earth it split upon. You mean spilt? Oh, so that is spilt. Never mind. I thought it split upon. I was like, wow, okay, that's weird. Spilt upon. Dark magics kept the lava pumping within him. Those magics were now severed. Kamasugami felt his life force pour out of his wound. With one last act of desperation, Kamasugami swung at Gamora with his blade. Gamora jumped up at the last second. Kamasugami cursed the gods for he came this close to slicing open Gamora's belly. unless you hit Gamora's belly, which I'm pretty sure is the most armored part of his body.
I'm pretty
Am I
sure
wrong?
it is.
Yeah, it's like, I'm gonna cut you open, dink,
Yeah,
dink,
pretty much.
dink, 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 dink.
Also, it shouldn't be the gods that Kumasagami is cursing. Should be cursing. It should be Tom.
Darn you, writer!
Why do I have to be the first one to die?
Oh
Gamora
yeah.
landed.
And by Gamora.
Hold on, you're getting ahead of me. Gamora landed behind the demon. The last thing Kumasagami heard before being blown to smithereens was Gamora's triumphant roar.
I'm going.
Yeah, that's the roar triumph, all right.
Yep.
But Gamora's view of the Earth turned upside down. Powerful energy beams had struck him down. Now Gamora was struggling to his feet, searching for his new enemy. Dagara howled a challenge in the open. The confident sea dragon saw no need to hide his position. Gamora stood upright, shaking from the fatigue of battle. Like a lion on the prowl, Dagara crawled to meet Gamora. Gamora tried intimidating Dagara by roaring at him, and probably looking down upon him, and feeling sorry for the face that he was given. Nonetheless, Dagara seared Gamora's neck with an energy blast. Gamora charged, wanting nothing more than to gore Dagara with his horn, but energy beams flashed out of Dagara's mouth and shoulder spikes, leveling Gamora like before. Burning flesh assailed Gamora's nostrils and made him queasy. Gamora tried getting back up, but his muscles were burning, his bones aching. He didn't have any more energy left. Dagara's shoulder spikes split open, firing a volley of Barum. The tiny starfish-shaped organisms clung to Gamora's flesh, secreting acid specifically designed to trigger his pain receptors. The pain was so excruciating, Gamora wanted to die.
Oh,
like a Tumblr user then.
Exactly. Megagearus relentlessly slashed at the warrior of light known as Ultraman. Glowing blood oozed out of Ultraman's grotesque cuts. Ultraman flipped backwards, narrowly avoiding one of Megagearus' pincer claws. He threw a spitting energy disc into Megagearus' face, but the giant insect blurred out of harm's way. Blurred out of harm's way? Okay. Jumped. In any case, not 1 second later, Megagearus appeared behind her wounded foe and attacked. Ultraman was sent hurtling face first into the earth. Rolling over, Ultraman fired his Specium Ray, a supercharged ray designed to ignite the molecules in animate and inanimate objects alike. It essentially turned them into ticking time bombs. But strong enough foes have overcome Ultraman's signature attack before. Megagearus found another way by evading it altogether. Wow, so why did we have to know about all this information? It's like, look at this cool attack.
I don't recall that ever being the specific case for Ultraman's Spacium Ray, but I could be wrong.
I think it's just a show that Tom doesn't even know the attack names now.
He forgot to capitalize the S and R in Spacium Ray. Anyway.
Yeah, it's fine. No one will ever notice it until now. Megagearus suspended herself above Ultraman, flapping her wings rapidly. Sonic vibrations reverberated off her wings, bringing Ultraman to his knees. He tried covering his hidden ears, but he couldn't block the sound out. When the agonizing sound ceased, Ultraman was clobbered by Megagearus' tail. Ultraman clenched the blood-soaked dirt, fighting to stay alive. Slowly, Megagearus hovered towards him, her bulbous red eyes wide with delight. Her sharp, jagged fangs tasted the air, hungering for Ultraman's blood. She readied the stinger at the tip of her tail, but right as she thrusted it, it embedded itself deep into the earth. Ultraman had vanished out of thin air. Megagearus panicked, thrashing madly to liberate her stinger. In a flash of light, Ultraman reappeared behind the oversized dragonfly, having saved his life by teleporting. With incredible accuracy, Ultraman atomized Megagearus' wings with his energy attacks. Megagearus crashed into the earth, taken aback by how quickly the tides of battle had turned on her. She screeched her disapproval, but when a large shadow fell over her, Megagearus stopped by staring in awe and disbelief. Biollante hunched over Megagearus, her gaping maw dripping with acid. Ultraman watched Biollante clamp her massive jaws over the writhing Megagearus, crushing the life out of her. He'd be lying if he said he didn't enjoy what he saw. Okay, then.
Ultraman's gone a little crazy there.
Yeah, just like in match 38.
I just also want to make note, this is exactly what you'd see on the History Channel, with a bug getting eaten by a plant. I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah.
I could see that. I could see that.
Yep.
By the way, pass.
All right, Joe, you're up.
But the fates were cruel. Flames split the ground beneath Biollante asunder, summoning hellfire. Within seconds, Violante was burning to death, her massive size consumed by raging fires. Ultraman transmuted his hands to alchemi- alchemic,
Alchematically.
alchemically, creating a hose to shoot water at Violante in the insane hope of dousing the flames. Ultraman rarely used this technique, mostly because it's almost useless. It was risky, bonding the tools of his armor with his flesh, but Ultraman had no other choice. Even if Violante somehow miraculously survived the conflag, conflagra, con, conflag, conflag,
Conflagration?
conflagration,
Or
she
conflagration?
wouldn't be conflagration. She she wouldn't she wouldn't be much help to his col, col, coalition. Six red Six red eyes emerged from the darkness, focusing on Ultraman. Molten fireballs shot out of three mouths, singeing Ultraman's backside. Oh,
Damn.
his buns are on fire! Ultraman answered by twirling around, blasting Descadora with his Specium Ray. Descadora cried out as while sparks and explosions danced across his body. The three-headed, four-legged brute quickly recovered. Even while burning to death, Violante proved her worth. Sharp tendrils acted like spears, harpooning Descadora's thick hide. After penetrating Descadora's flesh, the tendrils excreted their acidic blood. With acid coursing through his veins, Descadora's painful roars could be heard for miles. Descadora's body crackled, obliterating Violante's vines with an energy pulse. Light manifested within the palm of Ultraman's hand. The warrior of light sprinted to meet Descadora head-on, determined to cut one of his necks with an energy attack. Descadora's middle head had other ideas. A jet of fire seared the air, splitting the earth beneath the Ultraman open. Ultraman saw the fiery pits of hell reaching for him. He disappointed them by flying hundreds of feet into the air. And Kumasakami just went, "Oh." Ultraman planned a counterattack, not waiting to abandon Violante in her time of need. But to his dismay, filthy talons slashed into his face. Ghoulish cackles told Ultraman everything he needed to know about how much danger he was in. Three Gauss circled Ultraman like vultures. So is this the remake of Match 42? Was it 42?
I think it was 46.
Not 46, I mean. Unlike vultures, the Gauss attacked their meals while they were still healthy or dying. Ultraman felt their jagged teeth bury into his flesh. Ultraman struggled not to shout, knowing his screams would embolden the Gauss. Ultraman fired his charged energy attack, punching a burning hole through a Gauss's chest. It died instantly. The other two savagely clawed into Ultraman. Even in his deteriorated state, Ultraman was a powerful warrior. But not even he could overcome two Gauss by his lonesome. All he could do was hold them off. But when Ultraman's color timer started to flash, signaling death was imminent, Ultraman realized he didn't have much time left. Chainsaws bounced off Kiryu's arm in a shower of sparks. Kiryu was hunched over it as he tried backpedaling to safety. But Gigan advanced, swinging wildly. Kiryu blocked most of the blows, but of all the ones he failed to stop, chainsaws bit into Kiryu's armor, forcing pieces of it to scatter into the wind. Sweat permeated Akani's face. She tried not to blink even when it dripped into her eyes. Kiryu's damaged mouth opened, discharging electrical energies into Gigan's face. It was enough to make the cyborg retreat, but Kiryu didn't have time to recuperate. A spinning drill clobbered Kiryu off its feet. Computers inside Kiryu's cockpit brought up live footage of a charred Megalon. The god of Zootopia berated the fallen robot with his laughter. Gigan returned to persuade Megalon to continue his attack. Megalon responded by banging Kiryu's back with his drills. Oh my.
He was drilling him.
Oh! While also banging him. Kiryu tried defending himself. Megalon smashed one of his eyes. The impact shattered his contact lens. No, not my contact lens. That's gonna be hard to find now. Revealing the yellow optic mechanism within it. It didn't diminish Kiryu's vision of the battlefield. Instead, it was more akin to a battle scar. Gigan and Megalon attacked simultaneously. Kiryu caught their sharp arms. His damaged hand started falling apart as Gigan's chainsaws revved faster and 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 faster. Kiryu's rocket thrusters ignited, blasting the machine hundreds of feet into the air.
Until
In
it
midair.
stops.
Yeah, until it stopped. In midair, Kiryu kicked Megan.
Oh, there it is! There it is! Megan!
Cue Drake and Josh. Megan.
What is it supposed to be? Just Megalon?
Yeah, it's supposed to be
No, it's
Megalon.
supposed to be,
But it's
no, it's
Megan.
supposed to be Megan
Yes.
from Jake and Josh.
Okay.
Kiryu caught Megan and Gigan's heads as he twisted his body around in circles. Gigan was tired of playing these games, wanting to finish this fight once and for all. His chest port split open. Before the cyborg could fire his homing nipple disc, Kiryu improvised. Right as Megan fired one of her napalm balls, Kiryu caught it and shoved it down into Gigan's throat and mouth. Kiryu dropped down, kicking Gigan's legs from under him. The disc sliced the air above Kiryu, missing him by an inch. The napalm ball detonated, annihilating Gigan's head in a gigantic explosion. With their navigational systems scrambled, the discs selected Megan as their target. A confused Megan didn't know what to do. Kiryu turned around in time to see the disc slice through Megan's throat. It wasn't enough to decapitate the Zootopia god. It was, however, enough to kill her instantly. And that's how Drake and Josh ended.
That's a violent end for that show.
Akane breathed a sigh of relief. Kiryu wasn't out of this fight yet, but as the twisted shadows fell over the magnificent robot, Akane knew her luck was about to run out. Several gals descended, shrieking madly at the artificial being. It had no sustenance to offer them. Its destruction would have to do. Gamera regained consciousness right as he hit the ground. The impact rattled the area, attracting unwanted attention. Gamera knew he was about to be attacked when felt steady vibrations in the earth. Should be when he felt steady vibrations in the earth. So, damn it, Tom. Too weak to fight back, all Gamera could do was brace himself. Flames shot out of Descadora's middle head, engulfing Gamera in a sea of fire. Descadora is picking a lot of fights in this match.
Quite an awful lot more than you could chew.
Yep. Gamera summoned what little energy he had left. Green blood dripped out of his torn body. But when Gamera expanded his mind and his dong,
To honor his friend, dog.
I mean,
Okay, that was a good one. That was a good one.
It's just what you do in a time like this. I mean,
Yeah, Gamera now has a new weapon.
the fire felt like an extension of his body. He manipulated it, absorbing it into himself, in ways not yet understood by science. Gamera used the flames to heal his superficial wounds and rejuvenate his awesome power. Gamera let loose a powerful roar. Discadora answered with a barrage of molten fireballs. The burning projectiles missed Gamera, decorating the landscape in blinding explosions. Gamera felt the adrenaline rush. With newfound power coursing through his body, the custodian of the universe was fighting at full strength once more. Gamera parted his jaws, separating them with hissing flames. Descadora felt Gamera's fireballs explode against his armored hide. The three-headed titan felt his skin sizzle. The damage was minimal at best. Gamera moved to change that. But before he could sink his teeth in Descadora, damn it, Tom, a blinding flash of light repelled both from attacking. When the light died, Gamera caught a glimpse of an electromagnetic blast ripping Descadora apart. The resulting explosion was immense even by kaiju standards. Descadora didn't have time to roar in pain. Within seconds, his body parts were scattered. A smoldering impact crater marked the spot of his demise. Gamera searched for his unseen savior, wanting to thank him. Maybe it was Mothra Leo? Nah. But when Gamera located Descadora's killer, he realized Legion was anything but a savior.
Yeah, Legion is a team-killing fucktard.
Oh, look at
Hey,
that!
friendly
Legion
fires-
crucified Descadora again.
Oh.
bum bum ba
Hey. Well, when friendly fire is on, you gotta take advantage of it. The alien creature was much like an insect. Unlike other known insects, or any other creature, for that matter, on Earth, Legion was a silicon-based organism. Scientists have known about and studied the anatomy of other aliens for years. Their compositions weren't too difficult to understand, but Legion? She was an anomaly, and a destroyer. Gamera wasted no time. Fireballs erupted out of his mouth, searing into Legion's electromagnetic shield. Electricity rippled out of Legion's arm-like appendages, destabilizing Gamera's fireballs. Gamera rammed into Legion, using his flight propulsion as an added boost. He wanted to grind Legion with his claws, smash her to a pulp with his great strength. It was like trying to stop a train by throwing a rock at it. Gamera hit Legion so hard it would have overpowered any other monster, but Legion stopped him in his tracks. It went without saying, if Gamera, one of the strongest monsters on Earth, couldn't make Legion budge, then everyone was in big trouble. You're in big trouble, mister. Anyway, Legion thought about crucifying the Life Protector with her sharp appendages. What's Legion's deal with crucifying other monsters?
Legion is
She's a bigoted Christian.
yes,
Oh.
yes. Despite being named after a devil.
Instead, she elected to rise up on her hind legs and fall back down. Did she have a vote with her mind? Crashing her enormous bulk into Gamera. Gamera hit the ground so hard, it hurt him more than when he felt from the sky. Bone-piercing spears tore into Gamera, pinning him down. Gamera watched helplessly as Legion hunched over, her twin horns surging with electromagnetic power, the very same power that killed Descador in one hit. Gamera knew the cold realm of oblivion all too well. He's died before. Oh, that's edgy.
Oh, the edge.
Oh, the edge.
Well, if you can't take the edge,
Run.
but the chances. Okay. But the chances of returning from the dead this time? Unlikely. Prison beams stabbed into Legion's thick face, showering it in sparks and flames. Distracted, Legion turned to face her new attacker, firing her electromagnetic blast as she did. Her beam exploded harmlessly in the darkness, circling hundreds of feet above Legion. Batcher blasted her with his energy blast. They didn't hurt her, no. They were fireworks to her. Ooh, pretty. Legion didn't see the world in the way humans do. Her kind respond to energy signatures. Most life forms look like light in her eyes. But electromagnetic devices, energies, and attacks, they were as bright as stars to her. So when Batcher bombarded her with his prison beams, Legion was mesmerized by the pretty lights. Batcher knew his attacks were ineffective, but he had
Epilepsy, apparently. Just shine bright lights.
Legion's got to watch Electric Soldier Porygon.
Yeah.
But he had saved Gamera. Of all Earth's protectors, Atra understood Gamera the most. Even if he treasured the human race, Gamera ultimately cared more for the Earth. Atra saw him as a worthy beneficiary, one he'd risk his own life to save. Legion grew weary of this engagement. She felt her children, more like soldiers, stirring in her chest. Sending an electronically transmitted signal, Legion commanded her swarm to attack. Thousands of Legion's man-sized soldiers flew out of her breast. Oh. Flying to meet Batcher in battle. Batcher unleashed hell, incinerating several dozens at a time, but their numbers were overwhelming. Batcher watched them attack from many different angles. At first, the Dark Mothra repelled them with his dark shocks, but the hundreds attacking his body soon became thousands. With so many of Legion's soldiers cutting into his flesh, Batcher couldn't react fast enough to defend himself. Gamera watched on helplessly as most of Batcher's flesh was devoured. Soon, a bleeding husk of a carcass was all that remained of a once valiant guardian. And while Batcher fell, he said, "Fear Batcher." Gamera quietly prayed for Batcher's spirit. Legion had no feelings on the matter whatsoever. Wonder why. This only emboldened Gamera's quest to avenge his fallen comrade. Fire churned and
Ruin it.
Hang on. You're Joe. I'm gonna need you to start over from. Gamera quietly prayed for Batcher's spirit.
Okay,
Because that was.
that's less for me to read then.
Yeah.
Okay. Gamera quietly prayed for Batcher's spirit. Legion had no feelings on the matter whatsoever. I wonder why. This only emboldened Gamera's quest to avenge his fallen comrade. Fire churned in the back of his maw. Legion analyzed Gamera's intentions, realizing he was too close for her shield to work. Summoning the swarm. The swarm. Legion sought to kill Gamera the same way she killed Batra, but the swarm couldn't heed her summons fast enough. Gamera launched a fireball into Legion's chest, exterminating the next batch of her soldiers. Racked with pain, Legion backpedaled, screeching her alien sonic cry. Legion commanded her swarm to show no mercy. Gamera saw the crater burning in Legion's chest. He had gravely wounded her. The time for a tactical retreat was now. Flames and smoke shot out of his leg sockets, propelling Gamera out of Legion's clutches, but he was far from safe. Pass.
And my only question in here is why the hell hasn't Rodan done anything yet?
Oh
He's
yeah, that's
waiting
right.
in the
He's still
background.
here.
Yeah.
He's just watching with a bag of popcorn. Like, this is so entertaining.
Yeah.
Man, it's like I don't have to do anything or something.
Yeah. Meanwhile,
Yeah.
the gals are up there eating popcorn with him.
As
Okay.
well as Bagan.
Oh,
Yeah, I just want to make note. Two things. One, the Gauss would have obliterated everyone if Iris wanted to. Second, like 100 sonic beams cutting through the air. Godzilla and someone, outlasted and done a bit of damage, but still.
Oh, yeah.
Two. Kaiju Arts. What we were saying was, I'm just saying. I think we should cut this into 2 parts. I think we should do part 1 and part 2.
Oh, I wholly agree with that. Let's just. I think I know of a good point where to stop it. I mean, it's going to be pretty obvious when we get there, but yeah.
I wonder where. Wink,
No,
wink.
are we stopping it just for just so you could divide it in 2 videos, and are we?
I think I'm going to wrap it as one video, but we're going to do the recordings on 2 separate days because this thing is a monster.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
well, I'm not sure if I could do it tomorrow. So.
Well, I don't think we're going to be doing it tomorrow. We're probably going to do it Wednesday, probably. So if you can make it then.
I don't think I can't do, like I said, all my classes are middle in the day, so
Oh gosh.
I can't do it till Friday.
I could probably wait until then. Yeah.
So-
Friday it is.
All right,
Yeah.
Friday. All right.
I guess.
Descending rapidly from the sky, Iris blindsided Gamera by drilling him deep into the earth with his feet. Iris bellowed a blooming challenge to go to the custodian of the universe. Gamera crawled out of the ground, struggling to his feet. Iris stood in the darkness, his tentacles poised to attack at any given moment. Legion and her swarm loomed menacingly behind Gamera. Gamera found himself caught in a crossfire. Legion and Iris cared little for the others, so when Legion commanded her swarm to kill Gamera and Iris, the mutated Gauss summoned a horde of his own. Several Gauss immediately flew down to protect Iris. Gamera knew they'd rip him apart before ever having the chance to kill each other. Legion's horns separated, conjuring electromagnetic energy as her swarm moved in to attack. Iris's tentacles charged their sonic beams, warping light and sound. His Gauss slaves did the same. Gamera had to think fast. Firing up jet proportions, Gamera ascended quickly at supersonic speeds. Electromagnetic blasts, sonic beams, and thousands of kaiju devouring space bugs obscured the earth beneath him. Gamera tucked himself into his shell, spun rapidly in circles, and sliced a Gauss in half. Then he popped his head out, pummeling the flashing earth below with fireballs. Flames engulfed the region, eradicating Legion's swarm and the several Gauss. Legion's azure-hued eyes burned blood red. Iris's sonic red beams had punctured her thick exoskeleton, but Legion in turn had vaporized all but one of Iris's tentacles, badly maiming the mutated Gauss's body in the process. With flames crackling around them, the 2 titans squared off. Gamera laid in between them, eager to watch both of them burn. Bagan's heartbeat pounded in slow rhythms. It sensed another deep within the earth, craving its flesh. For hours it hid in the womb of the planet, waiting patiently for the time to be right. While its brethren fought and died, Bagan kept itself safe, but its insatiable appetite had reached its limits. Tunneling to the surface, Bagan found its prey, wiggling its big, thin ears, Bagan sensed now was the perfect time to eat. More arrogant creatures might have saw this as something to brag about. Eating the heart of the most dangerous creature to ever stalk creation, life would be indebted to whoever or whatever slew Bagan. But these things didn't occur to Bagan. All he saw was a helpless meal. While the horn stabbing into it would be a problem, Bagan was perfectly willing to take the risk by eating around it. And so he bit into Bagan's heart, devouring the heart of the dragon. The dark power of the Bagan cursed through Bagan's veins, amplifying its hunger tenfold. Hold on here, let me get a drink. Alex needs to recharge.
Whoop.
Spirals energized Godzilla's crimson ray, blasting a sizable hole in the ground in front of Space God Zero. Pillars of fire and clouds of dirt obscured Space Godzilla's vision, stopping him from erecting, a shield in time. Godzilla's heat ray was blasted through the haze, incinerating the skin off of Space Godzilla's chest. Steam sizzled off Space Godzilla's exposed crystallized sternum. Brimming with nuclear power, Godzilla fired a third shot. This time, Space Godzilla was hurtled backwards, while falling down, Space Godzilla's malleable corona beam plunged into Godzilla's neck. Godzilla felt the cosmic energy shredding his flesh. Staggering in his stance, Godzilla shot his fallen space clone, enveloping him in the plumes of fire. With most of his skin fried, Space Godzilla's crystallized skeleton structure glinted at the crackling flames. Take hours for him to regenerate the damage. Godzilla's dorsal spines pulsated a burning red glow. One more hit should do it, but destroy as oxygen destroyer shoulder. Bringing the king of the monsters down, Godzilla's feral eyes open, seeing Destroyer descending rapidly before slamming its bulk into his body. Destroyer hit Godzilla so hard. How hard did he do it? The king of the monsters was buried. Hundreds of all of the blood soaked a sail's boat. Destroyer's lift. Godzilla weakly grasped Destroyer's armored tail. Free, he felt Destroyer's micro-oxygen dissolve his skin and strip it of its energy. Digging deep, Godzilla summoned enough energy to spray his radioactive fire once more. It blasted Destroyer's chest wide open. Spilling green blood and shredded organs all over the place. Destroyer's tail dragged Godzilla retaliation. The sharp horn on Destroyer's forehead glowered an eerie orange-reddish luminance. As Destroyer leaned over, swiping an energy katana out of its horn, Godzilla prepared for demise, but Rodan intervened. The mutant pterodactyl flew between the dueling monsters, slicing Destroyer's neck and tail apart with his wings. This unexpected attack threw Destroyer off balance. I guess Rodan, as Popcorn goes, I better go help, otherwise they'll pitch at me. This unexpected attack threw Destroyer off balance. Before Destroyer regained its equilibrium, Rodan's shockwaves pummeled the crustacean nightmare. Two overwhelmed, Destroyer broke apart into trillions of microorganisms. Disappeared in a cloud of white smoke. Rodan's timely save gave Godzilla enough time to get back on his feet and win this fight. Godzilla and Rodan focused now on the sinister King Ghidorah. The golden dragon stared at them both with mixed interest. They were both insects to them, but they didn't know that yet. Godzilla snarled. Rodan flew into the skies, acknowledging Godzilla's request. The giant pterodactyl dove behind King Ghidorah, pecking at its back with his sharp beak. It was like trying to stab a rock. King Ghidorah whacked him away with one of his wings. The three-headed dragon felt strange vibrations in the air. Godzilla was charging at his top speed. So 5 miles per hour? Unlike most kaiju who flee at the sight of an attacking kaiju, King Ghidorah stayed his ground. Godzilla slammed into King Ghidorah at top speed, pushing the golden dragon backwards. Then Godzilla snapped at one of Ghidorah's necks with his teeth, biting them with his immense jaw strength. Ghidorah's neck muscles were one of the strongest in the universe, so it took no great deal of effort on his part to break free. Godzilla swatted at King Ghidorah, his powerful claws bouncing off the golden dragon's armored scales. A mocking chorus of laughter emanated out of King Ghidorah's three mouths. Anger flashed in Godzilla's eyes. The atomic reptile wrestled with the space demon, prompting King Ghidorah to manipulate gravity in order to fly upwards. Earth scientists were baffled by the laws of gravity, unable to truly comprehend what forces make it work. So imagine the sheer terror scientists and the rest of humanity felt when they discovered King Ghidorah not only manipulates gravity, he unlocked its secrets. What was once considered a dangerous space predator in the minds of billions had transformed into the harbinger of death. A sickening sentient being driven insane by the primordial laws of an universe. It's believed King Ghidorah has manipulated gravity to destroy countless worlds and civilizations in the past. Perhaps the space dragon threw a world off its axis. Maybe he eradicated the atmosphere. Whatever the answer, mankind was not eager to learn the truth. Neither were Earth's monsters. King Ghidorah ascended higher into the night sky. Many have confessed to how King Ghidorah one of the terrifying creatures they have ever. And from then on, King Ghidorah flew away with happiness because that's all he.
Man, King Ghidorah, you're so...
Wait, I made a huge mistake. I kept calling him King Ghidorah when it's Queen Ghidorah.
Well, this is Grand King Ghidorah, though. Not Heisei Ghidorah.
Grand Queen Ghidorah.
Gosh, Dory.
You never know. Where do you think King Ghidorah got the idea? But at night, it was easier to see.
Grandpa King Ghidorah.
Oh, okay, Grandma King Ghidorah.
Grandma King Ghidorah.
But at night, it was easier to see the creature for what it truly was, a monster. Rodan tried knocking it out of the sky with his shockwaves, but Grandma King Ghidorah, gravity's manipulations prevented that from happening. Atomic energy enriched Godzilla's dorsal spines. Molten hot energy spewed out of Godzilla's maws, crashing harmlessly into Grandma King Ghidorah's barrier. Rodan joined the attack, striking the Ghidorah three-headed dragon with a beam of his own. Both attacks failed. Grandma King Ghidorah launched a counterattack. Each of his golden wings were laced with sharp protrusions. They acted like claws in physical confrontations, but they had another purpose. Crimson lightning bolts blazed out of the protrusions, burning most of Rodan's flesh. The giant pterodactyl crashed and burned. Grandma King Ghidorah's 6 red eyes focused on Godzilla. Godzilla curled his upper lip, warning the dragon not to attack. Grandma Ghidorah's 3 jaws opened, firing gravity-guided yellow-hued beams. The gravity beams lanced into Godzilla, igniting his flesh and bone. Godzilla writhed in pain as he burst into flames. The king of the monsters tried extinguishing the flames by rolling around in the dirt. Gotta get it off! Gotta get it off!
Stop.
It didn't help. Grandma Ghidorah flew across the night sky, knowing his patience would be soon rewarded. As Godzilla burned to death, emerald energies constrained him. Grandma King Ghidorah wasn't the only gravity manipulator in this world. Space Godzilla lifted his counterpart up in his gravity tornado. Thanks to Godzilla's flesh had burned away, revealing his crystal skeleton and the energized organs beating within. Space Godzilla wanted revenge, and he will have it. A gigantic crystal spear brought underneath floating Godzilla. Rodan squinted his eyes, too weak to intervene. Rodan watched helplessly as Space Godzilla commanded gravity to slam Godzilla into crystal spear. With fire continuing eating at his skin, Godzilla felt the crystal weapon pierce his heart, and he was left dangling on the sphere, roasting to death. Well, Godzilla looks to be out for the count. Godzilla looks like got himself another loss. And pass.
Oh boy, yeah, I'm gonna finish up yonder here with part 1 for those kind of tuning in. This one video you'll see here is actually divided into 2 recordings, so yeah.
It's kind of a long match.
Kinda. I can't wait to see how we tackle 164. Am I right, boys?
Actually, I just want to make note, that one will probably go by faster because that one's a lot of dialogue and such. So, yeah.
True. Very true. But
because
still.
we want to go by fast. Sure.
Hey.
So, yeah. A few minutes ago, Ultraman was fending off several Gauss in the sky. He retreated to the surface, finding Kiryu trapped in the same predicament. Now the two were working together, shielding one as the other attacked the reptilian vultures. Both were severely injured. Ultraman's color timer was flashing rapidly. If he didn't recharge in Earth's atmosphere in the next few minutes, he'll die. It didn't help much that he was bleeding profusely. Kiryu was in a similar situation. Gigan and Megalon exhausted most of his energy and damaged a great deal of his armor. One well-placed Gauss sonic beam would cut him to ribbons. So the two heroes fought on, using pain as a deterrence. Killing a Gauss would take too much time and effort, but their battle was attracting the attention of other Gauss. If they didn't exterminate them soon, more would arrive. Their prayers were quickly answered. Energy arrays mutilated the Gauss effortlessly. Mothra Leo appeared over Ultraman and Kiryu. With the Gauss threat temporarily lifted, the trio moved to help their other allies. Mothra Leo transformed into thousands of mini glowing moths, cleansing Gamora of his bear infestation. Kiryu and Ultraman launched a combined attack, repelling the sea menace known as Dagara. Gamora could barely stand. I want to win. Kiryu helped him to do so. With quite possibly his only chance to rejuvenate his power, Ultraman shot up into the night sky, using every bit of his power to keep the Gauss away. Within moments, Ultraman was in the atmosphere harnessing sunlight. Dang, that was quick. Mothra Leo, Gamora, and Kiryu waited impatiently for him to return. After a few minutes, Ultraman returned with his power restored, but his body was still injured. Ultraman's restored power was already diminishing, seeping out of his wounds. To survive, Ultraman would have to find shelter and rest. But now wasn't the time for rest. The others needed him now more than ever. Legion's massive legs acted like spears as they were launched at the mutated Gauss, but they were deflected at the last second by Iris's equally impressive arm spurs. Gamera saw an opening, thrusting his wrist blade deep into Iris's armored chest. Iris's lone tentacle twisted in front of Gamera, shooting out one of his eyes with a sonic beam. Ooh, gosh! Gamera stumbled backwards, wailing in misery. Legion advanced upon the mutated Gauss, taking advantage of its distraction. The silicon-based alien slammed its body into Iris, pinning the demonic beast. Legion wanted to annihilate Iris at point blank, but when Gamera's fireball detonated against her exoskeleton, giving Iris the chance to impale her already damaged chest with one of his scythes, Legion knew the opportunity was lost. Iris sent the scythe deeper, piercing Legion's gas-compressed system. When Legion started thrashing around, she nearly freed herself of Iris's blade, but Iris wasn't the one she needed to fear. Spinning rapidly, Gamera separated the two monsters. He bashed and fried them with his spinning shell and blue silverly propulsion flames. That's when Iris and Legion decided to temporarily put aside their differences to eliminate Gamera. One of Legion's sharp legs harpooned the airborne turtle, striking it hard enough to make him fall. Iris slapped Gamera's face with his tentacle. Within seconds, Gamera found himself overwhelmed by the two stronger monsters. Their unholy union would bring about his destruction soon enough. Suddenly, a combined assault from Mothra Leo, Gamora, Kiryu, and Ultraman saved Gamera's life. Lying in scorched earth, Iris and Legion were stunned by the unexpected onslaught, but there was no time for the protectors of Earth to celebrate. Not with King Ghidorah, Dagara, Space Godzilla, and Destroya surrounding them. Bagan swallowed most of Bagan's heart, gnawing at the horn that had impaled it earlier. He was panicking. The assembly of evil monsters filled his heart with terror. Bagan wanted to return to the womb of the earth and survive the oncoming apocalypse, but Bagan's hunger would soon bring about his demise. Inside his stomach, Bagan's heart acted like a sponge. At first it absorbed Bagan's blood, but when it started devouring organs, Bagan realized he had made a mistake. The heart pulled the horn down, slicing Bagan's neck. Neck, chest, and belly opened like butter. No entrails or blood spilled out. There was none left. Bagan's heart had consumed most of Bagan's internal system. Demonic energies rearranged Baragon's genetic structure. The bones in Baragon's arms snapped to the surface, replacing its skin. Baragon died a slow and painful death, its body hijacked by the Stalker of Life. Bagan's heart had found a new host, and now with his old body completely restored, the second coming of Bagan was nigh.
Okay.
Alright, y'all ready?
Mothra shot his strongest ray in his arsenal at the dreaded King Ghidorah. The three-headed dragon's thick golden scales repelled it with a barrier of light. With a gravity bolt, Ghidorah blasted a hole into one of Mothra wings. Gamera tried avenging his comrade with a fireball barrage, but his fireballs were prematurely detonated by Space Godzilla's corona beams.
Wait. Mothra just died? Holy shit.
Yeah.
That was anticlimactic.
Wait, what? Already?
No.
I'm making a joke with Tom's writing,
Oh,
avenging.
I was gonna say, I wouldn't be surprised if he did.
As Mothra Leo falls, he says,
It's like, he, GBC.
"Oh,
Yeah, Leo's a dude.
Learn your genders, man.
I'm sorry, I misgendered him. I thought he identified as a moth."
God, we're in 2017. Stop thinking like it's 2005.
Dagara pummeled the Guardian of the Universe with his energy salvo. Ultraman jumped in front of him, summoning what little energy he had left to erect a shield.
Oh.
Shield. Yeah. Kiryu and Iris exchanged blows. Iris whacked Kiryu repeatedly with his tentacle, while Kiryu attempted to disembowel him with his drill. When Kiryu moved in too close, Iris lunged at him with his sights. Kiryu activated his jet thrusters, blasting out of Iris's reach, but Kiryu was anywhere but safe. Destroya's oxygen-destroying ray washed over his backside, blasting it apart. Kiryu pushed off the
Not
earth.
his ass.
Kiryu pushed off the earth, refusing to become a victim. Destroya studied Kiryu, wondering how much punishment can it take before
Kiryu is a strong, independent kaiju. He will not.
out if it was a victim. But Gamora had other plans. The Horned Saurian jumped in front of Destroya, whipping his tail into its demented face. Destroyer responded, probably after just sighing at the attack, by bouncing his face off Gamora's skull.
Wait,
Gamora
what?
fell next to Kiryu.
Wait. He bounced his face off Gamora's head. Bonk. So in response to being whipped, Destroyer just leaned over and went bonk.
What would that? His horns are in the way. It wouldn't even hit his face, would it?
So does that mean impaled himself on Gamora's horns? Like,
Yeah.
what? Stab.
I shoved the through.
After blood dripping from his face, Gamora's like, oh, just fell. Apparently, he fell next to Kiryu dazed. He's just like, oh my god.
He was so confused about what Destroyer did. He just fell over in shock.
Soon, Gamera and Ultraman were overwhelmed. Ghidorah flew high above. Iris ordered the Gauss not to attack, knowing his soldiers would be slaughtered. Iris knew that.
Wait. Are you sure this is Grand King Ghidorah?
Yeah, this is Grand King
I think
Ghidorah.
this is.
Yep.
No, it's regular King Ghidorah. I'm pretty
No,
sure.
it's Grand King Ghidorah. It's like Match 51 does briefly mention, the pale imitation created by humans or whatever. This is Grand King
Okay.
Ghidorah. Like he even uses
Awesome.
the lightning wings and whatnot. This is Grand King Ghidorah.
I'm just so used to Grand King Ghidorah being called Grand King Ghidorah, so being called King Ghidorah. It's weird.
Right, but it is an alternative, I think.
I know a
different
just
Ghidorah,
wanted to make
though.
sure.
Kinky Ghidorah.
Any case, Iris knew they were
What,
starving.
Ghidorah?
If he kept them waiting any longer, all would be caught in their killing frenzy. Space Godzilla's gaze ascended towards King Ghidorah, wondering why he had chosen Sanctuary in the scorched skies. It didn't take long for him to find out why.
Ow, the edge.
A soul-piercing roar ended the battle. While Gamera and the others felt their spines shudder, Iris searched for the source. Only it found him. Bagan's claw effortlessly pierced his back, shoving Iris's heart out of his chest for him to see. First off, Bagan's what? Bagan was what, 60 meters? But how tall is he? Originally?
80 meters. He was 80 meters.
80 meters tall, like 100,000 tons, and he silently sneaks up on Iris.
Darn
Like,
straight.
Surprise butt sex.
No, I'm just imagining Bagan trying to sneak through a battlefield, just tiptoeing really quietly, and then going.
Dude, we could hear you. No, it's like, dude, we could hear you. You're like 80,000 tons.
100,000 tons.
Bagan, we see you, Bagan. We see you.
Black,
The plot demands it.
Blackness greeted Iris, welcoming him to oblivion. Space Godzilla
Got struck by a
watched
smooth criminal.
Space Godzilla watched the mutated Gauss die. The reaction was immediate. Thousands of Gauss celebrated their freedom, cutting the earth asunder with their sonic booms. Probably bored half to death because they didn't do a thing the entire match.
Yeah, I know.
They felt indebted to Bagan, pledging their allegiance to the dragon god. Bagan glared at the disgusting reptiles. They were the most hideous creatures he had ever seen.
I love them.
They're so ugly, yeah!
It wasn't their appearance that made him so disgusting. No, it was their habits. They were bloodthirsting killing machines, living plagues.
Like him!
If Bagan could show emotion, he would have smiled with joy.
Ow,
He accepted the Gauss swarm as his army, and when this was all over, he'd set them loose on the globe.
I forgot about this.
Bagan saw Earth's protectors, recognizing them as his sworn enemies. He'd see to it they die slowly.
The edge.
It was
Like,
then.
you can't take the edge.
I love it when Iris died, instead of the Gauss getting him out, they're like, okay, I guess he's our dad now, right? Yeah. Hi, Dad!
Daddy!
You're our new dad!
No, we're his prison wife now.
Daddy!
It was then Bagan saw the others. He had never felt so much sin in other living beings. The edge. Space Godzilla and Destroyer glared at him. Dagara gritted his teeth. Legion twitched her bladed arms and legs. Finally, Bagan made eye contact with King Ghidorah and knew at once why they were here. Bagan
which head did he make eye contact with? Because there's three of them.
Yes.
Bagan roared with laughter. These fools were here to steal his mantle. Bagan barked a menacing challenge. Let them try to usurp his infamous crown. Gravity beams rained from the sky, stabbing into the malevolent Bagan. Bagan howled not in pain, but in pleasure. King of the edge. King Ghidorah responded with his crimson lightning bolts, covering Bagan head to toe. Space Godzilla joined in the assault, firing arrow-shaped crystals at the demonic beast. They shattered on impact, exploding in great balls of light. Dagara's energy beams carved into the devil. But when the smoke cleared, Bagan was unimpressed. Even with his boiled flesh dripping off the side of his body, Bagan grinned in excitement. The edge. This shouldn't take long. Legion's electromagnetic blast took him by surprise, blasting a gigantic chunk out of him. Bagan fell to one knee, taken aback by Legion's crippling attack. Already regenerating the damage, Bagan knew he had to act fast. Quickly closing the gap between them, Bagan rushed into Legion's face, snapping her horns off like twigs with his monstrous strength. Legion screamed in alarm. The alien succumbed to its immense pain by falling face first into the dirt. Superheated energy slashed into Bagan's spine. Bagan groaned as the energies cauterized the wound, infecting it with micro-oxygen. I don't think that's an infection, but sure. A milky white substance subdued Bagan's spinal column, forcing him to lose his balance. God dang it, Destroyer. Destroyer taunted Bagan with his mischievous chuckles. The Bracambian horror took all the credit for Bagan's suffering. Bagan paid his respects by incinerating Destroyer's face with hellfire.
Man, don't you just hate it when Destroyer has premature oxygenation early?
Yeah.
Dagara grazed the winds, snapping his jaws into the Brigami horror took all the credit for Bagan's suffering. Dagara grazed the wind, snapping his jaws into Bagan's throat. Bagan rested with the sea dragon before slashing its neck open. Dagara screamed, but continued to persist. Bagan was about to expel his annoying kin until several Gauss jumped him, biting and clawing into Dagara's flesh. Bagan encouraged his followers to kill every last one of them. Dagara relinquished Bagan's throat and spun rapidly away in circles. Crimson energy rings erupted out of his spinning shape, cutting apart the Gauss limbs. Two Gauss landed on opposite sides of Space Godzilla, snapping at him with their jaws. Space Godzilla electrocuted them with his cosmic energy, ignoring the foul odor of their charred corpses. Okay, that was pretty cool. Space Godzilla's like, nope, and just eradicates them. I'll give him that. That's pretty
No,
cool.
I just
pretty
like
cool.
from the way Tom wrote that with the two Gauss landing in front of him. And they're going, fuck it. Like, he doesn't even give a shit.
Space Godzilla's like,
Power.
Space Godzilla's like boring.
Space Godzilla focused on their new master. Corona beam slashed into Bagan's torso, drawing blood. Bagan couldn't retaliate immediately. He was still healing from Legion and Destroyer's attacks. Bagan spat white-hot flames at Space Godzilla. The Cosmic Saurian stopped it with his crystal-shaped barrier. In return, Space Godzilla's Corona beams ruptured Bagan's throat. As Bagan swallowed his own blood, Space Godzilla's crystal spines transformed into a spiky hell. The Cosmic Saurian levitated, choosing to attack from the air. Bagan waited patiently. When his wounds were fully healed, Bagan jumped up and impaled Space Godzilla's wounded chest with one of his horns. Space Godzilla shrieked louder when Bagan jabbed his claw into his ravaged chest, slashing apart his insides. Red electrical bolt zapped Bagan's arm, making it go numb. Space Godzilla used his entire body as a weapon. A wave of smeltering energy blasted Bagan off of him. The Devil Beast landed on his feet. With his face reformed, Destroyer returned the favor by spewing rain to Bagan's face. Bagan sprinted into the mutated crustacean, tackling it. King Ghidorah's gravity beams blew apart Bagan's right shoulder. Bagan glared at the dragon, concentrating as he did. King Ghidorah soon discovered why. Burning diamond-shaped projectiles fell from above, striking King Ghidorah. King Ghidorah watched on as Barry deflected the diamond storm, but too many were striking at once. Eventually, King Ghidorah's barrier was overwhelmed. As the fiery diamonds punctured the space dragon's flesh, King Ghidorah felt pain for the first time in his awful existence. Several Gauss
He liked it.
common theme. Several Gauss swarmed Dagara, stripping the flesh and muscles from his bones. Despite their best efforts, the Gauss couldn't kill Dagara. Bagan tested that theory by engulfing him in his hellfire, incinerating his Gauss slaves in the process. Smoke steamed off Dagara's flayed body. With his eyes burned out of their sockets, Dagara was
My
dying.
glasses! I can't fight Bagan without my glasses!
Splashing into the soil. There was no way Dagara could continue fighting, and yet he tried. Dagara fired his energy blast, prematurely injuring his neck. Bagan shrugged off the weak attack, but his opponent was anything but weak. Bagan couldn't believe Dagara was still alive, let alone fighting back. One more shot from his hellfire would do the trick, but Bagan had other ideas. Dozens of Gauss consumed Dagara with their shadows, eating him alive.
You know what, Harley? Fuck you for what you said earlier, because Dagara died fighting back, and how dare you say they ran away?
Yeah. King
How
Ghidorah.
dare you insult
Alright.
them?
Alright.
Except for Dagara. I like how Gauss can apparently eat with
you
their
know what?
shadows.
I'm gonna set a memorial wall for Dagara.
I'm
I'm gonna set a Patreon account just to have people donate money to Dagara's family so they can pay for his funeral costs.
King
He was
Ghidorah
a
and
hero.
King Ghidorah and
I'm $5.
Nope, I'm going. I'm just going to end this prematurely, just like Dagara. King Ghidorah and Space Godzilla landed on opposite sides of Bagan. It was an unholy alliance between two unholy creatures. On any other given day, they would have fought to the death, but neither could defeat Bagan alone.
Oh, is that foreshadowing for a future match?
So they
Wink,
joined
wink,
together
wink.
to fight a greater evil. Now it looked like resistance was futile. Their allies had been slain, and it looked as if
They're
they
bored!
were powerless. Father Leo begged to differ, blasting Bagan's vital shape with his holy light. Gamera, Kiryu, Gamora, and Ultraman joined in. Space Godzilla saw them as nothing more than pawns in a game of chess. For now, to spare their lives. King Ghidorah wasn't as compromising. The King of Terror sent a gravity bolt singeing into Gamora's belly. Gamora collapsed from pain and damage. King Ghidorah crackled with delight, but hitting an unsuspecting creature wasn't enough, so he blasted Space Godzilla off his feet. King Ghidorah relished in the betrayal that lasted, 5 seconds? He should seek out alliances.
I did it.
He should seek out alliances to break more often. Bagan acted on.
I'm just imagining. Curse just sudden by inevitable betrayal.
Bagan acted on King Ghidorah's betrayal, cutting Kiryu's claws. Ultraman and Mothra Leo were too busy seeking vengeance against King Ghidorah. Even in his injured, Even in his injured state, King Ghidorah barely felt their attacks. So with an extra mouth to spare, King Ghidorah sent them hurtling backwards with his gravity bolts. That's when Bagan caught the space demon off guard. Bagan slammed into King Ghidorah at full force. King Ghidorah sailed through the air like a bullet, not touching the ground for a mile. When he finally...
Miles.
not miles. When he finally landed, King Ghidorah didn't rise for several minutes. Ghidorah couldn't move. He was in so much pain. At last, when he returned to his feet, he did so by manipulating gravity. He quickly realized he couldn't stand under his own strength, so he bent gravity to his will once more, using it to keep him in place. King Ghidorah didn't look broken from the outside, but beyond his seemingly healthy features, shattered bones entwined with mangled organs. Blood dripped out of his 3 mouths, attracting hordes of Gauss. Before they could attack, a vicious spark stopped them. Bagan marched to meet King Ghidorah, wanting the 3-headed dragon to die by pass.
The battle was not only taking its toll on Kiryu, but its pilot as well. Akane tasted warm blood in her mouth.
Delicious!
It was minor compared to the headache she felt after Ghidorah sent Kiryu tumbling across the earth. According to computer projections, Kiryu's power was at 28%. Time to return to restock on energy and ammo. Either they will kill Bagan or die trying. But Akane couldn't do this alone, so she checked up on her monstrous comrades. Mothra Leo was still fighting in good condition, which was a blessing. Having rejuvenated his strength, Gamera was fighting at full capacity. Gamora was seriously injured.
What the fuck was that?
Harley, you didn't know, we made Gamora's a big email crybaby.
I don't know what that was, but what the hell?
Yeah, Gamora's a big crybaby, so he's just laying there crying.
I think to myself, is that you're trying to imitate Gamora's roar? What was that?
Like I said, Gamora's a emo crybaby that always wants to win.
Okay. Continue.
Gamora. Ultraman was bleeding to death, losing his newly restored power at an alarming rate. But where were the others? Akane fought back tears when she saw Rodan's burnt corpse. There was a faint heartbeat. The giant pterodactyl was barely alive.
Wait. Rodan's still alive, so why is he saying burnt corpse? Shouldn't he say burnt body instead?
No, he's foreshadowing.
Oh yeah, we can't question Tom's choice of words, even though that clearly doesn't make any sense when Rodan's still alive. He's not a corpse.
I'm surprised
By the
he
way,
didn't say.
I'll ask someone in the chat for a gray shot.
I'm surprised he didn't say Rodan's burnt erect.
I want to make sure. Okay, I wanted to be clear.
It's in the rule book. No one reads the rule book anymore. Continue.
That's because they don't talk about shorts.
Okay. There was a faint heartbeat. The giant pterodactyl was still alive. But what she saw next profoundly disturbed her. Godzilla, the king of the monsters, riding on a crystal pike as cinders barbecued his skin. Delicious. This made her hate Space Godzilla even more. Oh, the edge. It didn't help. He was, for the time being, one of their strongest allies. Dicks out for Godzilla.
My heart will go on.
Destroyer launched an all-out attack on the protectors. Oxygen destroying rays lanced into Gamera, bringing him down. Destroyer focused on the dying Ultraman, sensing he was the weakest. unholy light flashed from Destroyer's horn, blinding Ultraman. But the Warrior of Light knew what Destroyer intended to do. He remembered this from another match. I can't remember what match. Was it match 49? 48? 47?
Who cares?
Yeah,
But
they
the
all
warrior-
suck.
little hard.
Instinctively, he dodged Destroyer's energy-wielding horn. Mothra Leo flew to intercept Destroyer, but the wings of many gales distracted the noble paladin.
Not the actual gals, just their wings.
Yeah, just their wings.
Just like how the shadows ate the
So
god.
if Mothra Leo's the paladin, who's the wizard? Who's the fighter? Who's the cleric? Who's the rogue? Who's all that? Also, what kind of
Yes.
loot are they gonna get by defeating Bagan? He's a
Well,
level
they'll-
100, and they better get some good loot.
Legendary.
Well, Bagan is a raid boss, so I imagine they should get some pretty good loot for my level.
Okay, that's
Some
good.
legendaries,
think they-
maybe a few epics. Who knows?
I think they
For
might
some,
need a
for some
grind
reason,
first.
when you said boss, for some reason I thought of Monster Hunter. They're gonna get some sweet gear from Bagan.
Womp womp. They open up and there's just thatch and some wood.
You know, Bagan guys stuff, they open it up instead of like the epic legendary draconic armor they want. It's just some of Baragon's deceased corpse.
No wait. This match isn't real. It's just all the kaiju playing an MMO together, while Bagan's just the computer boss. Angers is the Leroy Jenkins. That's why he died first.
Anger is a certain Leroy Jenkins. Oh. Alright, continue.
As Martha Leo waged one kaiju war against the gales, lighting up the night sky as he did, Ultraman
Not of the
struggled to
night. There was a sea of this darkness can't hide.
Ultraman struggled to stay alive. Kiryu jumped to meet Destroyer in combat, but he bounced off its thick carapace.
I like the idea of Kiryu trying to jump on Destroyer and just bouncing off. Like this huge giant robot that's meant to resemble Godzilla just ricochets off him.
Destroyer clobbered Kiryu with its tail as an afterthought. On any other given day, Destroyer knew any one of these beings could have given it a great fight, but all the more reason why it'd be a good idea to eradicate them all one at a time. Ultraman wanted to grind Destroyer. Oh. Destroy his skull with his hands. But every time his muscles twitched, he lost more blood. Oh, the
Wow.
edge.
That's
Oh,
unfortunate.
tasty.
I'm just
To defeat-
imagining Ultraman listening to the Land of Light version of Linkin Park.
To defeat Destroyer, he needed a way to keep the crustacean
Crustacean.
We got the-
terror.
Fuck.
Okay, yeah, I say we call crustacean fuck now.
So
So if you see that word, just say fuck.
I like it. You need a way to keep the crustacean fuck stationary. Okay. Continue.
They keep the crustacean fuck terror stationary to overthrow everything, to throw everything he had at it. That's when an idea popped in his head. Bling. Ultraman raised both hands, shaking profusely. This
What?
technique was unlike.
I'm just shaking profusely.
Shaking profusely. This technique was unlike King Ghidorah and Space Godzilla's gravity manipulations.
I don't think King Ghidorah and Space Godzilla shake profusely when they do that. Did the Ultraman start vibrating when he did the gravity thing in the show? I haven't gotten that far.
I didn't either.
I'm just
I don't
imagining
remember when.
Ultraman like loses up a Santa God, and Mothra Leo's like, "Are you having a seizure? Are you having a seizure? Are you okay, dude? Do you need a nap?"
Two telekinetic rays jumped out of Ultraman's fingertips, ensnaring Destroyer. Confused, Destroyer howled as it was lifted into the air, unable to move. That's when Ultraman launched his attack. Cutting lasers and spinning discs ruptured Destroyer's carapace, splattering its green blood all over the place. Is blood yellow? Who cares?
I think it was yellow.
Damn it,
Well,
Tom.
see, Destroyer's trying to be more eco-friendly.
Yeah. Even if it couldn't move, but that didn't mean Destroyer couldn't attack. Destroyer charged its oxygen destroyer ray, blasting Ultraman so hard he found himself underground.
Oh! He literally buried Ultraman!
Rest in peace, Banner.
Again.
Oh no, Banner's dead!
Well, I mean, who knew the micro-oxygen beam came with a free burial?
I was gonna say, on the plus side, if Ultraman's dead, we don't have to bury the body.
Yeah.
Oh shit, we have to hide the evidence though.
It's already underground. We don't have to worry.
Yeah.
Yeah, but some other jackass monster might find it though. One that
God damn
can
it,
bury.
Gamora.
God damn it, Gamora. Yeah.
Bagan is gonna come back to life, eat Ultraman's heart, and turn into Ultraman. I left. Someone left.
Continue.
I'm never gonna finish this.
With his concentration broken,
Camp.
Destroyer was free to move.
That's a
sentence. Yeah, that is a sentence, but I'm just gonna picture Destroyer saying that like Sam Jackson in Pulp Fiction. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
Did you say Pulp Fiction or Pulp Friction?
Both.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration, Ultraman?
It lumbered over to the impact crater, looking down at the wounded Ultraman. Ultraman felt his life slipping away. Destroyer snarled at the broken hero, reminding him of his inability to save the day. Ultraman answered with his specium ray, incinerating one half of Destroyer's face. Destroyer streaked its hatred at Ultraman, outraged by his refusal to die. Ow, the edge. With its horn brimming with light, Destroyer brought its energy dagger down. Ultraman felt a burning sensation from his chest. Destroyer had sliced it open. There was no pain at first. Ultraman was in too much shock.
Ooh, the edge.
Ooh, the edge. Well, if you can't take the edge, Harley.
I know. If I can't take the edge, you gotta stop using the knife. That's what the saying goes, right?
Yeah. But when Destroyer powered its horn for one final swing, Ultraman didn't think much of it. Pain was an illusion crafted by the mind, meant to remind you that you were still alive. Ultraman waited to die with honor. Oh, the edge.
Ooh.
Suddenly, Destroyer stopped, its horn powering down. It recoiled from an unseen blow. Ultraman couldn't believe his eyes. Gamora embedded his horn into Destroyer's
He
back.
changed the EX Gamora. Oh, that's later. I'm sorry.
Gamora's mighty roar was the last thing.
he's like a talking story while sobbing. God.
Was the last thing Destroyer would hear? Destroyer's cries reverberated throughout the region as it exploded into a cloud of glowing particles.
Oh!
Ghidorah.
Never to be
King
seen from
Ghidorah.
again.
King Ghidorah watched
wait. Gamora literally atomized Destroyer.
Yep.
Mhm.
What?
I mean, that's what his
Because-
like thing does, doesn't it? It just makes everything explode.
Really?
I mean, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure.
Yeah, when
He used his very few
Gamora
powers.
pumps
That's
like
good.
pumps his energy into you, it's like toss you back and you blow up. So
Okay.
it's only natural.
King Ghidorah watched Bagan march slowly to meet him in battle. The King of Terror reflected on his reputation, how he was the oldest evil in the world. These worthless specks known as humans talked about nightmares as if they can be controlled. King Ghidorah is the embodiment of nightmares everywhere. I know I see him in my nightmares.
He has nightmares. He has nightmares about himself losing against Godzilla and Gyros and Rodan. It's terrifying.
And he can neither be tamed nor imprisoned in the feeble minds of men,
Well,
which
we'll
is
see about
capitalized
that.
for some reason.
We'll see about that.
We'll see about that, King Ghidorah.
All right, King. You say you can't be mind controlled, King Ghidorah? I accept that challenge.
But this devil in disguise known as Bagan was something greater than any nightmare. It was as if King Ghidorah dreamt of an abomination, and it was made of flesh. Oh, the edge. Although he never admitted, King Ghidorah had a death wish. Life is
Oh
meaningless.
no, he's suicidal. We gotta talk him down. We need to help him.
Now let's talk. I want to see become Dr. Phil. Now let's talk about your problems, King Ghidorah.
Well, now, King Ghidorah, I know you and Bagan have a lot of issues you gotta work out. Your three heads are confined always. Now, I'm gonna use a lot of verbs in my next sentence.
Oh shit, I'm bleeding out.
That's what character Phil does. He goes, I'm gonna use verbs in my next sentence. He announces his verb usage is weird.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
An
Godzilla,
anomaly.
you are estranged with your son Minya, correct?
Let's continue.
Alright, continue. Kaiju Dr. fucking wait.
Dr. Phil needs to be in the next Godzilla movie. Okay.
He said Godzilla. He said legendary. He's in the legendary Godzilla vs King Kong. I don't respect their differences. Oh, King Kong, Godzilla, you're both on the different corn.
All right, let's keep going. Let's keep
An
going.
anomaly in a sea of chaos. King Ghidorah was there when the darkness. King Ghidorah was there long before the particles of dust sculpted planets. King Ghidorah was there before the first amoeba life form crawled out of the sea along with all the other abortions called life. King Ghidorah was there when Revenge of the Fallen came out.
And when Donald Trump was elected, he was right behind him.
Yeah.
Wherever you may think, King Ghidorah was there.
JFK's
Our
assassination.
hero.
There.
He was responsible for killing
King
Harambe.
Ghidorah, never mind, I don't want to get controversial. Understanding the true meaning of existence had driven King Ghidorah insane. Now he speaks in an arcane not even he remembers or understands.
Wait, thankfully for some reason, we are the monsters.
Yep. But King Ghidorah was no stranger in the presence of death. And right now, King Ghidorah somehow knew Bagan was death incarnate. Life and death were two sides of the same coin. So it was only a matter of time until existence breathed life into death. King Ghidorah envied Bagan, not just because he was more powerful. It's not because Bagan did no envy Bagan, because unlike everyone else, himself included, Bagan was meant to be. He had purpose in life.
Not really.
King Ghidorah is suicidal now.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that's kind of that's the edgiest thinking we've had.
Yep.
Holy shit, he's out-edged Bagan.
Oh my god!
Wow.
Oh.
It's an edge contest. Suicidal King Ghidorah versus Bagan. Never gonna finish this match at this rate. It's gonna be the match that never ends.
Alright, well, I'm gonna try and end it, so if it'd be alright if I could take over.
Gravity beams tore into Bagan's armor and hide. Bagan waded through King Ghidorah's gravity beams, ignoring them as they tore into his body asunder. The demonic dragon broke into a sprint, but King Ghidorah was ready for him this time. Crimson lightning shot out of King Ghidorah's wings, temporarily blinding Bagan. The couple seconds Bagan spent regenerating his eyes, King Ghidorah put to good use. Bagan's newly healed eyes searched for his adversary. That's when Ghidorah dropped down from the sky, burying his feet into Bagan's head.
Oh,
Bagan
he's using
bent low.
them save the Earth methods here. Because wasn't that an attack at Ghidorah saved? They just like stomped on someone.
Well, yeah, and technically an attack he used in the movies, so.
Oh. Wait. I think this confirms Bagan to be in the next Godzilla game.
Half-Life Bacon confirmed?
Bagan confirmed for Half-Life 30. Bagan bent low enough to touch his feet with his tongue.
And they tasted nasty.
But he refused to fall.
Bacon did not wash his feet that day. It was gross.
But he refused to fall. Ghidorah was shocked by Bagan's abdominal strength. That dive bomb would have broken even the mightiest kaiju. Well,
No, it wouldn't.
Okay.
I know for a fact that King Ghidorah's dive bomb has never incapacitated a kaiju.
Mothra.
Yeah.
It's never worked.
Mothra Leo, I think, technically.
Bagan growled, proving once more he was on a higher plane.
Not literally,
Grizzly
because King Ghidorah was actually above Bagan, but you get the idea.
Grizzly hands closed around King Ghidorah's ankles, squeezing so hard they started to pop. King Ghidorah panicked, blasting Bagan in the face. Bagan yanked King into the cold earth. Red eyes glared down at the three-headed demon. Bagan wanted to kill him, but his hesitation prevented that from happening.
He looked
For the
into
first
King
time-
Ghidorah's eyes and gently stroked its metal head.
Oh. For the first time in his terrifying existence, Bagan thought about sparing another life form. This one was different from the rest. He didn't want to admit it, but Bagan actually liked King Ghidorah.
I was right!
You could say he loved him.
Bagan X King Ghidorah confirmed OTP.
Woohoo! We need a Bagan versus Grand King Ghidorah match, but it has to be the XXX version.
No, it has to be them having a lovers fight. Then they fight. At the end of the match is them making out.
Featuring Dr. Phil.
I mean, it's featuring Dr. Phil. I don't
Alright,
know
let's
about
keep
you,
going,
but
let's keep
King
going.
Ghidorah can give great head.
Oh gosh, let's keep
Door
going.
could take care of all of Bagan's all three of them at the same time.
Oh, man.
He was the Sultan of Chaos, born into madness. King Ghidorah wasn't a child. Sin was a child of King Ghidorah.
Oh,
Bagan
yeah.
recognized.
And man, King Ghidorah is a real deadbeat dad, didn't he?
Yeah. Bagan recognized King Ghidorah as his ancestor and inspiration.
Daddy?
All the-
That guy's like, Dad, is that you? Hi, son.
Daddy!
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 And then all the girls are like,
bird.
and all the girls are like, Grandpa!
I have a grandpa!
King Ghidorah, Bagan's like, but father, King Ghidorah's like, I have no son. You're dead to me.
We'll keep reading. You'll see.
Then Dr. Phil comes in to try and fix the problem.
Mm-hmm. All the reason why Bagan should kill the three-headed monster.
It's not Dr. Phil, he's
Oh! Ultra Banner Phil.
Ultra Banner Phil.
Dr. Ultra Banner Phil.
Dr. Ultra Banner Phil. You know, I'm kind of curious. Ultra with a doctor would be actually official.
Sure.
I don't know.
It was the only way to truly appreciate one another in this barbaric universe.
Only they can understand each other. The
Yes.
edge.
That's why they're gonna have, you know.
More babies.
Yeah.
I mean, King Ghidorah already has one child.
Yeah, thin. White hot flames glowed in the back of Bagan's gaping maw, streaming the distorted air. Suddenly, the glowing spears hit and showered Bagan's backside in light. Ooh.
So Crystal's got rammed up Bagan's ass. Confirmed.
Yep.
Oh, right. Harley, you weren't
No,
here
that's
for
the
this,
thing I
but
noticed. People seem to confuse back and ass.
That's
Like,
just it.
backside does not mean they're back.
Actually, yes, it does. I looked into it. Backside can mean kind of like the opposite of what is the
Crystals
front.
emerged
So.
out of the fiery light, sprouting out of Bagan. Ew. Space Godzilla flew above the two evil monsters, mocking them with his ear-piercing screams. Well, it is pretty ear-piercing.
Yeah, it's pretty annoying.
Yeah. Bagan gritted his teeth so hard a few of his teeth shattered.
Ow, the edge.
Ow!
I didn't know we were in a cartoon.
Bagan has cartoon physics.
That's how he regenerated so fast.
And no, that explains everything. That's why Bagan can bend so low he can lick his feet. He's a cartoon character. He just grits his teeth. You see his teeth like cracking.
Bagan respected King Ghidorah. He didn't respect the cosmic saurian Space Godzilla. Dick. Bagan heard of the space creature. It was
Where?
one of Godzilla's.
Wait a minute. Where? Is there like an evil monster Facebook feed or something? Is Bagan like on Kaiju Book, and someone's like, "LOL, Space Godzilla, that clone dick." And Space Godzilla's like, "Thumbs down."
No, like I said, this is an MMO game.
Oh,
Bagan just read his game profile.
He was one of Godzilla's many clones. Many clones.
All two of them, too, right? Become Mechagodzilla's
nice
clones.
number, but...
I think so, maybe.
Like, Biollante will be a clone.
Alright, in that
Space
case,
Godzilla,
one of
Orga.
5. 5? I want to say 5.
They're a nice handful.
Yeah.
The Mechagodzillas.
I think
Okay.
Bagan's over exaggerating.
Yeah, Godzilla doesn't have that many clones.
It was perhaps the most pathetic. It was perhaps the most pathetic in Bagan's eyes. If it was a mistake's mistake.
No, it was a mistake.
Harsh.
Mistake.
Yeah. So Godzilla was a mistake, and Space Godzilla was a mistake. This is like Monster Island buddies.
Oh man. No, guys, Space Godzilla was told by his parents that he was a mistake at birth. But he was a happy mistake.
His mom is the black hole, and his dad is the Godzilla cells.
Yes.
Oh, we'll get to that. Keep going.
Okay. Space absolute power was common knowledge, which Bagan found repulsive. Why would anyone or anything want to rule this pathetic universe? Why would anyone or anything want to rule over abortions?
Oh.
Too easy. A new god for the masses to worship and fear. To Bagan, there was only one god to worship, death. And soon, Space Godzilla will meet his maker, Pan.
Black hole?
Yep.
Oh, finally.
So Godzilla will meet his maker, which is literally a black hole.
Yep.
Now I'm just imagining Bagan launching Space Godzilla back into space. Just picking him up and chucking him into orbit.
Oh my goodness, after this giant monster of a paragraph, there's going to be dialogue.
Kaiju.
Alex, be mentally ready.
We know you're not muted. We see you.
I believe you wish to pass it on. I don't think he's returned
Are
quite
you
yet.
there?
Alright, well I guess
I'm here.
If you didn't record that, we are not going to go back and read.
Oh yeah, no, we're not going back if he's not recording. We're not going back.
He's gonna do it all by himself. He's just gonna do different voices.
No, what's the thing is the thing is what's going to happen is we're going to finish, and then he is going to be like, "Sorry, I wasn't recording." So and we'll have to do it all over again.
Andrew,
All right, can you hear me?
Can
you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Hi there.
we can
All
hear
right.
you now.
Don't
you're
worry,
back.
guys. I heard everything you guys said and everything you guys read, so you're fine.
Okay, so does that mean you were commenting with us and you thought we were all ignoring you?
Yep.
For like 20 minutes?
Yep. Well, I was mostly stuck.
I just want to make note. He's going to kill us all slowly and over time because of what we said. So.
Yeah, I said I wanted to take over from the last paragraph, but GVZ continued.
No!
So,
I'm sorry, Kaiju X.
it's alright. It's alright.
We just thought you were sitting there.
Yeah.
Well, anyway.
Oh
Well,
dear.
Yeah, I got done
That's
with
okay. I
it.
kind of fell asleep through those last few paragraphs.
You fell asleep.
Oh,
Well,
sorry,
on
sorry,
this
guys. I fell asleep
on
and
this edition
I stopped recording.
Okay, anyway.
On this edition of the committee reads, the match that will never end.
Yeah, I know.
We're gonna
Oh
have to do
boy,
this in like
this is going to be a fun
5
one to
parts.
upload.
Okay.
That's all I have to say.
Okay.
Anyway.
Oh boy.
Okay. Go Kaiju X.
White hot flame shot out of Bagan's mouth. Space Godzilla felt the hellfire burn away his skin, while his body.
He's gone.
He got cut off.
Wait, did you guys hear me?
He's
Can
gone
you guys still
again.
hear me?
Yeah, we hear you. You got cut off though, literally
Yeah.
like perfectly. It could not have been timed any better.
Oh my goodness.
Space.
Sometimes I wish I could hear through you guys' perspective. Anyway.
We heard up until space.
Yeah. Yeah. Try again.
Anyway. While his body struggled to regenerate the damage, along with the other injuries he had sustained earlier, Space Godzilla discharged his Corona Beams. I now just noticed that Corona Beams is lowercase. Gosh darn it, Tom. Anyway. The melee
No. Well, hold on. Let's celebrate. Tom's using attack names for once.
Yes.
Sure.
Except
He's
they're not
getting there.
capitalized.
No, wait,
I'm
no, don't
taking
celebrate so soon. You'll see next sentence.
Okay,
Oh,
fair enough.
Well,
Fair
we're
enough.
learning.
The malleable scarlet beam skewered Bagan. Bagan's roasted flesh split in boiling blood. Crying havoc, Bagan charged up the flying Space Godzilla. Or charged the flying Space Godzilla.
Bagan charged up Space Godzilla.
Yeah, he charged up. Anyway, Space Godzilla tried avoiding Bagan by flying higher up. But the colossal death god jumped up, grazing Space Godzilla's face with his horns. Okay, I honestly was not expecting that. I guess this is just a prototype to match 190's Wings of Light.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm trying to fly, dang it. Space Godzilla crashed next to King Ghidorah, awakening the three-headed monster, just like Alex.
Oh, we're still doing this? Okay.
Ghidorah instinctively spat gravity beams at his former comrade. Space Godzilla roared in irritation, electrocuting King Ghidorah. The two titans rose to their feet only to get into a tussle. Despite their best efforts, neither...
I love how dramatic that sounds. The two titans, so now they're tussling.
Yeah. Despite their best efforts, neither could overpower the other. Hellfire and scalding diamonds pummeled them without warning. Space Godzilla and King Ghidorah turned to face an enraged Bagan. The crystals sprouting out of his back siphoned his energy, feeding their master Space Godzilla. Using Bagan's own power against him, Space Godzilla charged white reddish corona beams. I'm pretty sure the corona beams were more closer to like red or yellow.
I think the white is coming from Bagan's power because apparently Space Godzilla has some Orga in him now.
Oh, fair enough. Enough.
So are all the other monsters just watching them fight and eating popcorn?
Yes. I guess they're all sitting down. Well, Ultraman's like 6 feet under.
Yeah.
No, this is like Monster Island, buddies, where only one can move at a time.
Yeah, pretty much. They were powerful enough to blast Bagan to the ground. Space Godzilla's newly energized corona beams were so hot, they generated massive amounts of smoke and steam after hitting Bagan. Oh yeah, you are right. It is pretty much Orga.
Oh.
Space Godzilla took vengeance upon King Ghidorah, stabbing him through the chest with the jagged tip of his tail. Ooh. Hearing King Ghidorah's painful screams filled Space Godzilla's heart with pleasure. Oh man, he's... oh boy.
He's reaching maximum edge!
He pumped the three-headed dragon full of electricity, shocking the life out of it. More like the death out of it, if you ask me. Haha. Anyway. Suddenly, Bagan charged out the haze of smoke.
And Harley just got a little too excited there.
Shattering one of Space Godzilla's shoulder crystals with his head. Enraged, Space Godzilla touched the horn that was still sticking out of Bagan's heart. It conducted Space Godzilla's electricity, zapping Bagan's dark heart.
Then Bagan died.
Winner Space Godzilla. Anyway. Bagan furiously swatted Space Godzilla aside. Then he focused his attention on King Ghidorah. Bagan grabbed Space Godzilla's tail, which was nestling inside King Ghidorah's chest. Bagan...
It was just getting cozy. What rude.
Yeah. Bagan thrusted the tail so far, it poked out of King Ghidorah's backside. King Ghidorah screeched as Bagan twisted Space Godzilla's tail, tearing the three-headed dragon's insides apart. King Ghidorah's three mouths seized the horn in Bagan's chest, twisting it. The pain was unbearable, forcing Bagan to abandon the fight altogether and retreat. Bagan fired a supercharged blast, removing King Ghidorah and Space Godzilla from the battle for the time being.
He's beaten two of the most powerful evil monsters we ever known. Yeah.
Akane whispered in disbelief.
Wait, what?
Why won't you die?
It's bad as Akane as a heavy chain smoker now.
I wish you were here for I wish you were here for match 51, dude. That's all I have to say.
Oh my god! Jesus!
Oh, look, he's using miles away.
Oh yeah.
Written in the stars, million miles away.
Miles away, Bagan shifted his stance. It was as if he had heard Akane. Shit!
took a firm...
Anyway.
He took...
I hear you.
Baggett's like, I can hear you. You can't hear me.
Baggett's filthy breath steamed the air. His sharp, blood-stained
he needs
teeth
to brush
somehow
his teeth.
glowed in the dark. How does blood glow in the dark? I'd like to know. Perhaps someday he will die.
Easily, apparently.
Perhaps someday he will die. Now he's just as suicidal as Ghidorah. Anyway.
Yeah.
But Bagan will see that his enemies died long before he ever does. Stomping to bring about their doom, Bagan's monstrous roar emboldened the Gauss swarm. Their screeching, foul-mouthed bodies obscured the advancing Bagan from sight. Ultraman D
foul-mouthed.
Ultraman D even
So
bothered
they're
to
just
cover...
cussing.
Yeah, what a bunch of jerks. Ultraman D even bothered to cover his wounds. The Gauss had already had the scent of his blood. If he tried retreating, the Gauss would find him. But Ultraman was no coward. He also wasn't stupid. Thank you for pointing that out. There was only one way he could make himself useful. If he had enough time, Ultraman would have shared his power with all his allies, but he could only transfer it to one. All of them saved his life, but it was the one closest to him now he felt most indebted towards.
Don't wake up Godzilla or anything.
Yeah.
Because that's a terrible idea.
Gamora saved Ultraman's life by stopping Destroya.
Ultraman chose Gomora because he knew he wouldn't hear the end of it if he chose someone else.
Yeah, I know. That's actually the real reason.
I wanted to tell Bagan.
I want to win. I want to win. Anyway.
I want to be in the match more.
Yeah.
He just wanted all the whining to stop.
Gomora, shut up.
So now Ultraman will return the favor. Ultraman transferred his cosmic power into the wounded Gamora. All of it.
Quote unquote wounded.
Power cosmic. Wait, so Ultraman has the power cosmic now.
Mm-hmm.
Gamora's eyes surged with incredible power. It mingled his
Then they
genetic
blew up!
structure, jump-starting its evolution. Gamora's skin hardened into an incredibly thick plating. Bony spikes jutted out of his shoulders. His claws grew longer and sharper by the second. The glow in Ultraman's eyes faded. Before slipping away into the blackness, Ultraman witnessed the birth of a new defender of Earth. EX Gamora! Finally!
Everyone bitched about illegal monsters being used.
Yes!
Your Gamora evolved into EX Gamora!
Yes! An illegal
And he's only showing up for this one.
Oh, yep. Only one time. EX Gamora never showed up again.
Yep, because he was effectively banned.
Because remember, Tom's not the rule. He's the exception.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bagan stopped. This new creature was brimming with immense power. Bagan cracked his hands in anticipation. After defeating the likes of Godzilla, King Ghidorah, Space Godzilla, and King Kong without too much effort, Bagan started to wonder if he'd ever find a worthy foe. Bagan
I don't think King Kong should be with the other three. Like, one of these things is not like the other.
Well, he was electric charged, so...
I don't...
Bagan broke into a sprint.
Like King Ghidorah and Space Godzilla.
EX Gamora charged at his top speed. Trembling the earth with their footsteps, Bagan and EX Gamora clashed. EX Gamora matched Bagan blow for blow, slashing the devil beast with his claws. EX Gamora drew first blood. Bagan angrily swatted EX Gamora's face. Leaving terrible claw marks in his wake. EX Gamora hesitated only a second. Bagan wasn't holding back. The strongest...
Wait, he was holding back before?
Yeah, he was holding it back before?
Bagan wasn't holding back. I wasn't sure if you heard the isn't, but oh well. The strongest creature in creation showed no mercy. EX Gamora wouldn't have it any other way. There was plenty of energy to spare. Huh. Interesting. For Ultraman giving...
Yeah, is he gonna run out then?
Right, yeah, it's like he has plenty of energy to spare even though Ultraman didn't have that much of it. Huh.
Yep.
EX Gamora smashed Bagan's face in repeatedly, dislocating the demon's bottom jaw. Roaring in frustration, Bagan slammed into EX Gamora with everything he had. EX Gamora was sent hurtling backwards, dragging his feet into the earth for traction. EX Gamora came to a halt, standing tall. Bagan found himself hating EX Gamora more by the minute. "'Cause I'm gonna win! I'm gonna win!"
Bagan, why don't you let me? I'm gonna tell Mom!
But nothing could have prepared him for EX Gamora's next move. EX Gamora leapt forward, curling up into a spinning ball. Oh yeah, that's right, I forgot he could do that.
I didn't know he could do that. I thought he was trying to rip off Anguirus.
EX Gamora bounced off Bagan's face, striking him so hard Bagan coughed up blood. EX Gamora uncurled in front of the devil, shrieking in satisfaction. Bagan planned a counterattack, but EX Gamora ruined Bagan's plans by impaling the back of his throat with his tail. EX Gamora swung Bagan back and forth with his tail before chucking him aside. Holy crap!
Man, Bagan's getting bodied.
Yeah, not only that, he's being tossed around by the tail. Jeez.
Yeah.
I mean, was Bagan a lightweight?
Because Gamora is using his air suit powers.
Makes you wonder why Ultraman didn't do this in match 51, just so they could have gotten it out of the way.
Yeah,
well,
but
that's because EX Gamora would have been banned, and there would be no way he would have appeared in match 56.
Exactly.
No. See, Alex. It's the Power Ranger rule. You can only power up to your maximum form if it's required.
Anyway,
No, I'm just saying.
That's like a legitimate rule they have for Power Rangers to justify why they don't just use the Megazord early.
Yeah, he could have just done this in match 51, so we didn't have to read a whole trilogy.
Would you really call this a trilogy? Would you really actually call this a trilogy? I mean,
it's still a trilogy. It's still three
more like a
different hyperlinks.
It's more like a duology and a prequel.
But the prequel came out first. Anyway, prologue
Continue.
would be a better word. But anyway, Bagan clenched the earth, snarling in contempt. Bagan fought back to his feet.
Don't speak glitch.
Well, it's recording me just fine, so I'm gonna have to keep going.
There.
EX Gamora curled up into a spinning ball.
We're never gonna be done.
Into a spinning ball, attempting to crash into Bagan like before. Only this time he was aiming for the horn buried in Bagan's heart. A direct hit would shove it deeper, possibly resulting in Bagan's untimely demise. Bagan shielded his chest, catching EX Gamora's spinning form in midair. Recoiling from the impact, Bagan dug his claws into EX Gamora's spinning shape. With his claws breaking off, Bagan summoned all his great strength to throw EX Gamora straight down. The impact alone made the Earth explode sky high. Thank goodness Earth is lowercase e and not capital E, otherwise I would have had questions. Standing tall in the newly formed impact crater, Bagan made EX Gamora eat dirt with a swift stomp to the head.
Eat dirt, nerd!
Eat it.
EX Gamora reacted by skewering Bagan's belly with his tail. Pulling the tail out, Bagan started bludgeoning the horned super beast with his fists. Bagan wailed on EX Gamora, each blow sounding like a sonic boom. EX Gamora responded by clasping the horn in Bagan's chest, plunging it deeper into his wicked heart. Bagan pushed EX Gamora's hands away and spat hellfire. EX Gamora was pushed into the outer edges of the crater, his armor unscathed. Bagan narrowed his red eyes into tiny slits. Diverting more energy into his primary weapon, Bagan fired the strongest plasma ray yet. It not only pushed EX Gamora out of the crater, it sent him hurling backwards for miles while parting the land in its wake. It was so hot it made EX Gamora's armor boil. See, look, he
landed right next to Gorsaurus.
He landed right next to Destroyer, and then he transferred his cosmic power to Destroyer, and Destroyer became EX Destroyer.
Yeah, right. When the ray stopped hitting him, EX Gamora found himself consumed by a blinding light. All EX Gamora could see afterward was dead Earth for miles.
God,
If I have to hear EX Gamora one more time, I'm gonna vomit.
that paragraph was literally littered with that name.
I just realized Tom loves using the word boil.
Bagan approached Kiryu and the others. It takes
Please,
Gamora a few
I have to
minutes
hear
to
that
reach their
from the
position.
moment, so please call him something else.
Yeah.
I'm from that one paragraph alone. I'm tired of hearing that name.
All right. I won't
Yeah.
call him. I'll call him X Gamora.
Call him Ian.
Anyway, that's all the time Bagan needed to butcher them alive. That's when Bagan felt a disturbance in the air. It didn't
He
belong
felt
to
a
any.
disturbance in the Force.
It didn't belong to any of his Gauss minions or Moth or Leo. It wasn't until Legion dove into him did he remember who she was. Legion.
That's when Tom remembered Legion was still alive.
Yeah. Legion hit Bagan so hard he found himself buried.
That was exactly my plan.
Yeah. So hard he found himself buried hundreds of meters deep. Legion's gas-compressed muscles propelled her blades deep into Bagan, crucifying him where he lied. There goes Legion being a
Bagan
religious
died
bigot
so
again.
we could live.
Bagan thrashed around for several minutes before realizing Legion had him where she wanted him. Her massive horns split open. Azure-hued bolts pulsated within Legion's exposed forehead. After being reduced to a disembodied heart, Bagan not only survived, he returned in full force. So there was no way Legion could kill him, but she could still hurt him like hell. Bagan found a third option. The demonic dragon swatted Legion's horns so hard he snapped them off like twigs. Her horns acted like control rods, charging and directing electromagnetic energies. With them destroyed, Legion's energy blast exploded aimlessly into the air, vaporizing dozens of Gauss.
This is getting ridiculous.
Legion screeched so loud it made Bagan's ears bleed. Breaking free of Legion's clutches, Bagan took advantage of her misery by ramming into her. Legion stopped herself from sliding back, only to end up falling forward.
What a klutz, that Legion!
Believing himself to be victorious, Bagan stomped towards his enemies. That's when Legion rose with hate burning in her bosom.
In her boobs?
Apparently. Several crimson whips shot out of Legion's forehead, piercing Bagan's backside. What a perfect entrance.
Oh, no, his ass.
Bagan watched them wiggle out of his chest as they melted his insides. As quickly as they appeared, Legion sucked them back into her forehead. She gave Bagan enough time to turn around to face her. Legion wanted to see him see his destroyer. Legion pumped him full of crimson whips like before. Bagan wavered but refused to fall. They burned his flesh and organs, but it wasn't enough to stop his stride. Legion couldn't believe it. Her laser whips could kill other kaiju in less than a heartbeat.
That's a lie.
Bagan read her
That's
emotions.
a lie, you know it.
Yeah, you tried it on camera, it didn't quite work then. Bagan read her motionless face like a book. How do you read one's poker face?
No, what happened was Bagan literally just took Legion's face, started flipping it like pages.
Her doubt made him stronger. Oh man, what a jerk. Bagan waited close enough to reach out and grab her head. With her
so is Bagan Emperor Palpatine in kaiju form all of a sudden?
I guess so. With her laser
power, unlimited power.
No,
you won't die.
Let the heat flow through you.
Your doubts, young Legion, only emboldens my power.
I could feel your anger. It gives you focus.
Godzilla Jr., let the hate flow through you. Join the dark side like your father before you.
Alright, let's keep going, otherwise this will be a never-ending match.
Have you ever heard the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
By now our 8.5 viewers probably clicked off this video because we keep jerking off.
Probably.
we keep stopping to make jokes.
With her laser whips continuing to melt his insides, Bagan snapped Legion's clean off, spraying gas out of her ruptured neck. Legion's glowing eyes started to fade. Before dying, Legion emitted a low, ominous warning. It wasn't a warning. It wasn't just a warning to Bagan. It was a warning to the entire world. Legion was only reconnaissance? Oh, okay, reconnaissance.
Yeah, she was.
Legion was only reconnaissance. She died knowing her kind would avenge her by invading and conquering the Earth, and her kind outnumbered the stars.
That never happened, by the way.
Oh yeah, that'll never happen.
happened
Not
again.
in this match.
Just was bringing it up. Just never gonna talk about it again.
Mm-hmm.
But if Bagan succeeded in his campaign, there'd be nothing left to invade. Akane couldn't believe how close they were to winning this. This war should have been won. They defeated Bagan. The world was saved, but those other evil monsters interfered, and Bagan.
That's not their fault.
So many have lost their lives because of this foul demon, and Bagan. So many more will perish because they weren't strong enough to protect them, and because of Bagan.
And because of Bagan.
Because of Bagan.
Kiryu refused to let things end this way. He unleashed his maser cannon, shooting Bagan in vain. Bagan lumbered through Kiryu's weak attacks. Gamera joined the fray, belching fireballs at this horrible demon. Explosions consumed Bagan as he marched on. He walked out of the flames, laughing like a psychopath. An emerald beam blazed into Bagan's stomach, stopping him momentarily. Mother Leo cut a swath of death through the Gauss swarm, fighting his way back to his allies. Together, the three defenders launched an all-out assault, drowning Bagan in beams and fireballs. Their attacks pulverized his flesh, but Bagan regenerated the damage immediately. Mother Leo energized his body and flew circles around Bagan, appearing like a blur. Pollen shed from his wings, paralyzing Bagan's muscles. This stopped him in his tracks. Kiryu and Gamera simultaneously activated their rocket thrusters and jet propulsions, slamming themselves into the beast. Bagan was sent crashing down, but he was quick to get back up. Mother Leo fired at his neck, trying to distract him.
I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never gonna keep me down. I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never gonna
Distract
keep me
him
down.
long enough for Gamera and Kiryu to retreat. Bagan ignored the paladin deity. Bagan smacked Gamera aside with his tail. A grisly skeletal hand grabbed Kiryu by the neck and pulled him closer to Bagan's ravenous jaws. Oh gosh, they're gonna make out! Anyway, Akane suspected Bagan would be taking a bite at Kiryu very soon. Oh my.
I like how Akane is literally just sitting there in the cockpit watching, doing nothing.
Well, she's like the only living character left. You can't really give her much dialogue.
That's true. That's true. She's the only human left. Clearly, we can't give her some dialogue.
Yeah. Only Kiryu was saved by the unlikeliest creatures, Space Godzilla. Corona beams flayed Bagan's rotten flesh to the bone. Bagan glared at the cosmic saurian. Space Godzilla's single-shoulder crystal glowed brightly in the night sky. Bagan mocked him.
Now, how long? It's night now. I thought it was day.
It's night.
No,
It's night. Yeah, match 56 is set at night.
Okay.
But 51 is set in the day.
Ah.
Well,
Match 50 took place.
I can't hear you guys.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
We're not talking.
We're not talking.
Yeah. Anyway, Bagan mocked him with a chilling roar. Let his enemies join forces together. They'll only end up dying together, too.
Yeah, see? You know what? I have to say another fuck you to Harley because Space Godzilla and Legion were fighting him, or at least Legion was. Space Godzilla is now fighting.
Right, so you guys will be able to hear in the behind the
Patreon
scenes. So this comment makes sense in context if you listen to the behind the scenes when they finally come out. Anyway.
I basically, for those who want a little bit of context, I basically accused all the evil monsters of being giant cowards. I am wrong.
Yes. Okay, that sums it up. Anyway.
Except for Legion.
Except for Legion.
Cold air blew over Rodan. Weakly, the giant pterodactyl opened his eyes.
Tom remembered him finally.
He was burned beyond repair. All that was expected of him was to wait there and die. Rodan saw Bagan fighting his comrades in the distance. None of them stood a chance. He heard the ruffling of wings above. Several gals were fighting over who'd be the first to devour Rodan's charred flesh. Rodan nearly gave up until he saw Godzilla. The king of the monsters was resting in an uncomfortable position. He wasn't sleeping.
Godzilla can't sleep in that position.
Yeah. A crystal spear was sticking out of his heart. Smoke curled off his fried skin. Seeing Godzilla like this filled Rodan's heart with rage and sadness. And hunger.
And hunger.
Emitting a thundering cackle.
See, Rodan was so burnt that Gauss mistook it for a really large version of themselves.
Yeah.
And he joined the swarm and ate Godzilla.
Yeah. Emitting a thundering cackle, Rodan flapped his wings and flew over to his friend. The Gauss were too busy slaughtering each other to notice. You idiots. Rodan landed on Godzilla.
Man, Gauss was stupid.
Yeah. Rodan landed on Godzilla, quivering in his stance. On the battlefield, there are no words of comfort. Many have lost their lives, but Godzilla would not be among them. Rodan will see.
Well, he already was, so.
Yeah. Rodan's horns burned with atomic power. Unlike most creatures, Rodan's control over his energy was so great he could will himself to self-destruct. Particles of light buzzed around Rodan as his skin melted off.
Why didn't you do that on Bagan, Rodan? Suicide yourself. Come on.
Not quite what you're thinking of, mate. Shedding his flesh and bone, Rodan cackled loudly in his pure energy state. He looked like a phoenix as he prepared to make the ultimate sacrifice. Rodan journeyed into the heart of his brother, merging with the king of the monsters. Godzilla's eyes peeled open. Radiation corroded the air, assailing his senses. Godzilla felt the crystal spear in his heart evaporate. Planting his feet down into the boiling earth, Godzilla cracked his fists. He felt the energy within skyrocket. Before he could adapt, Godzilla disappeared in a blinding light.
And he died. Alright, my turn. Yay. Bagan grabbed Kiryu's face and squeezed. Akane knew Bagan didn't need to exert himself to crush Kiryu's skull. She knew he was toying with her. Oh. Before Bagan could strike Minecart's last line of defense, a blinding glow washed over them. No more than a few miles away, a mushroom cloud erupted into the heavens. Bagan glared at the giant explosion. Hey, get away from here! What he saw emerge out of the mushroom cloud filled his black heart with dread. Stepping out of the sweltering smoke, Godzilla roared a challenge. Godzilla roared a challenge to the abomination known as Bagan. His dorsal spines glowed like magma, pumping more steam into the air. Godzilla's red eyes burned with hatred, rivaling Bagan's own. Warping the elements, glowing raindrops sprinkled over the battlefield. Godzilla's new power, weather control.
Godzilla used rain dance.
Seething with uncontrollable nuclear power, Godzilla started his march. Bagan knew Godzilla would be a challenge, but what he didn't see coming was help. Gravity bolts blazed a line in front of Godzilla, warning him not to cross. Godzilla looked up to see the three-headed menace, King Ghidorah, cocking wildly into the night sky. The atomic reptile stepped over the line. Oh, that's too far.
Oh, Godzilla, you madman.
Godzilla just crossed the line.
Edgy.
Oh.
Ghidorah hissed at the radioactive behemoth. Gravity beams carved into Godzilla, blasting off chunks of flesh. Ignoring the pain, Godzilla chose instead to focus his cold gaze on King Ghidorah. It agitated Ghidorah so much, he decided to face Godzilla in combat. Ah, man, Godzilla's face was just too annoying. But Godzilla was too quick for him. From a distance, Ghidorah was defended by his barrier, but up close, his barrier couldn't activate fast enough. At point blank, Godzilla discharged a spiral blast, which punched a hole through Ghidorah's chest and back. It didn't stop. Gotta let that know. The burning stream of radiation cut into an unsuspecting Bagan, exploding with devastating force. Bagan's rotting entrails dangled out of his wound. Ew. Hunched over after receiving such a terrible wound, Bagan growled at the king of the monsters. Godzilla didn't notice. He was too busy throwing King Ghidorah out of his way.
Get out of here.
Get out of here. Remarkably, the three-headed dragon wasn't dead, even though he should be. Like, seriously.
Yeah.
Tom makes his monsters so unbelievably resilient.
Yep.
Only when
King
he wants
Ghidorah
to be.
No longer a part
Yeah.
of the KWC.
King Ghidorah writhed on the dead earth, unable to bleed. Godzilla's red cauterizes wounds on both ends. Instead of
Oh, that's a
blasting,
relief.
yeah, that's good, I guess. Instead of blasting King Ghidorah to smithereens or focusing on Bagan, Godzilla locked eyes on his cosmic clone, Space Godzilla. Why?
Ooh.
Who cares?
Don't you remember?
Godzilla-
It was Space Godzilla that made Godzilla sleep in an uncomfortable position. So
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Space Godzilla didn't tuck his bed in more carefully.
Yeah. The dick.
Space Godzilla was soaring through the air when he recognized. I'm sorry. Space Godzilla was soaring through the air when he recognized Godzilla's intentions. So I like that Space Godzilla was just like floating around aimlessly until Godzilla showed up.
Oh, bro, come on! It was just a prank.
It was just a prank, bro. What do you know? Godzilla was mad. Now he was uncomfortable because Space Godzilla dipped his hand into a bowl of warm water.
anyway, keep going.
What he saw next was a blinding torrent of red light, and then Space Godzilla stopped, always obey the traffic laws. After blasting Space Godzilla out with his crimson ray, Godzilla watched the cosmic saurian plummet, rising out of the impact crater.
Anyway,
Rising out of an impact crater, Space Godzilla screeched weakly as genetic ancestor. It was as if he were begging for his life. Godzilla glared coldly at the space monster. On some level, did he feel a distant kinship for the creature? After all, he had Godzilla's own scent. They might even be the same creature. No, they're not.
Yeah.
They're not.
They're the same.
But Godzilla sensed evil in this dreadful beast. Like, he sensed evil. Okay. Like Bagan, Space Godzilla was a universal threat, one that Godzilla sought to rectify. But Tom likes dragging his teams. Godzilla down. He doesn't want to take another nap.
He won't let Space Godzilla know.
And all this.
Is she? Oh, she's still alive. I thought she died already.
She's still alive.
So she's. I like that. So she's literally just sitting.
Yeah.
She took Rodan's place and eating popcorn and watching.
She's throwing popcorn, by the way.
No. She has her tendrils like feeding her popcorn. Good.
Oh, I should probably do something. Nah.
Nah, not yet. It's not yet. King Ghidorah hovered above the atomic dragon. King Ghidorah hovered above the atomic dragon. The chorus of cackles. Even with a hole in his chest, King Ghidorah refused to die. Just like this match. Gravity beams and crimson lightning bolts erupted out of his mouths and wings, bombarding the augmented Godzilla. Atomic fire churned in the back of Godzilla's maw, but King Ghidorah stopped him from attacking it by blasting him repeatedly. Yeah, good strategy. King Ghidorah didn't stop at Godzilla. He fired at the injured Space Godzilla too. Space Godzilla retaliated with his Corona beams. Bagan go to all three monsters. As they exchanged attacks, Bagan prepared to kill them all. King Ghidorah channeled most of his great power into his three heads. Waves of shimmering light radiated out King Ghidorah's golden scales. Oh no! He's turning into the GMK Ghidorah!
Well, then this will be easy.
yeah.
Gravitational forces intensified the electromagnetic energies gathering within Ghidorah's maw. What? Right,
Just
then,
keep
Mr.
going. It'll make
Scientist.
sense that way.
Yeah, but I need to call Bill Nye. Godzilla and Space Godzilla didn't know whether they'd survive or not. They didn't have enough time to launch a counter-assault. But as King Ghidorah fired his supercharged gravity beams, neither Neither Space Godzilla or Godzilla were harmed by it. Instead, the gravity beams tore into the already injured Bagan.
Hang on, Harley, stop for a moment. Stop. I did
King
not
Ghidorah
catch.
King Ghidorah couldn't stand being jealous anymore. His envy for Bagan took its toll, coming into his last attack. Oh my god, he's literally just leaving.
You know, a few years ago when I read this, it sounded like he had a way better reason for leaving.
Not anymore. He's just
Yeah,
leaving.
not anymore. When you get older, it's kind of stupid.
Yep.
The Gauss steered clear of the World Destroyer, fearing his power. Godzilla challenged the fleeing space demon. King Ghidorah ignored him.
No, Godzilla. I can't fight you. I'm too jealous of Bagan.
I know, right? Well,
No, if
Godzilla
he's too
challenged-
jealous of Bagan, why doesn't he just stay and fight?
Because Tom.
Because he's an idiot.
I've never. Yeah,
No,
honestly, when I first.
we need to rewrite this match with Orga eating Bagan's heart, and then have Grand King Ghidorah and Space Godzilla stay and fight.
Yeah, that. Whether Godzilla and his allies succeed destroying Bagan or not, mattered little. King Ghidorah got what he wanted, I guess. And now the world will burn. Maybe someday he'll return to dance over their graves. Maybe someday.
So King
No,
Ghidorah
Funny idea, guys. Grand King Ghidorah didn't destroy the dinosaur, someone else did, and he just returned to laugh.
I'm just imagining after it's all over, King Ghidorah comes out and starts dancing around the battlefield with the corpses everywhere. He's like, hey,
Fuck you, Godzilla.
hey, oh. Space Godzilla flew after King Ghidorah. The Cosmic Storm wanted nothing more than to destroy Bagan, but the stakes were now higher. The Earth Champion just might prevail against Bagan without him. If it
Space. Get rid of competition and more real. What I just said.
All right. What was that?
Great shot. We just went over King Ghidorah's reasons for leaving the battle.
I've listened. I just want to make note. My mic was muted. And secondly, the other note I'll have is Space Godzilla flying after Grand King Ghidorah could also be the fact that Godzilla chased, but he couldn't. Godzilla's like, well, I'm a Godzilla and I can effing fly. I have the same feelings. I'm gonna kill it.
Space Godzilla going after Grand King Ghidorah makes sense, but
Godzilla,
Grand King Ghidorah just up and leaving? That's
leaves in the middle of the fight.
Yeah, with Space Godzilla, you can at least say he's trying to get rid of one extra challenge.
Yeah, exactly.
He's also saying, "Get back here, you effing coward!" Like,
yeah, totally.
And at least with Space Godzilla, it said that he at least wanted to help kill Bagan. He was willing to at least make that temporary alliance.
Yeah, Space Godzilla. I just love how King Ghidorah, for no reason, just leaves.
Plus,
jealousy.
Because
of jealousy.
Don't remember?
Yeah.
I just also want to make note that also note it's like he's made this alliance, like he wants to kill Bagan, like that's something very strongly. Greg Ghidorah freaking betrayed him, and now he's running away. I would be like, you guys handle Bagan. I'm gonna murder the coward. I'm gonna murder the guy that betrayed me.
That would make sense. But I just want like a quick scene of Space Godzilla watching Ghidorah leave his narrowness. I was like, wait, why are you leaving? What?
Don't get me wrong, Grand Ghidorah has a freaking hole in his chest, but still. He's up and
even with the hole in his chest, he was still able to fight.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's really no excuse.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Anyway,
I love these two sentences. Godzilla challenged the fleeing person, King Ghidorah ignored him.
Also, I don't know about you guys, I just find it funny how At the end of match 51, when they were introducing all the evil monsters, the only two villains to survive this match are the ones that was the one who was first introduced and the last one. All the other monsters in the middle got killed.
Oh yeah, you're actually not wrong.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, you're right.
Here we go. Let's continue.
Oh my goodness, there's that
Godzilla was
familiar
hopeless
word
his
again.
great enemies departed the earth. Wanting to kill them with his own claws, Godzilla felt robbed. He felt robbed, damn it! Hissed within his throat. Baggage boasted not taking it seriously
Kaiju
as he would have
says to
liked.
stop.
Hey,
Harley, stop. Stab.
Stop. Alright. Uh-oh. Stab!
Six.
does that mean it wasn't recording?
Yeah, it
boy.
wasn't. It was not recording.
You
That bit
there?
You know,
there,
why do we let Kaiju X record?
because I'm the only one who can edit these things. But just start over from Godzilla watched helplessly as they departed. So you'll just have to start over from there. Harley? Oh no. Okay. Alright, let's
You back?
just start over from Godzilla
Maybe.
watched helplessly as his greatest enemies departed the Earth. Just
You know,
start from there.
I think it's safe to assume that. I think it's safe to assume that I could be the Godzilla of this recording because I feel like shit the whole time.
Alright. Harley?
Where did you? I forgot where I stopped at.
Godzilla
I know where I stopped at. I don't know where you told me to stop at.
It doesn't matter. Just start from Godzilla watched on helplessly, because I couldn't get a word out of that when you started that paragraph.
Oh, all right. Godzilla watched watched on helplessly as his greatest enemies departed the earth. Wanting to kill them with his own claws, Godzilla felt robbed. No matter. No matter. He quenched his bloodlust one way or another. Godzilla focused on Bagan, advancing onto his smoldering remains. Suddenly, a fully healed Bagan sprung to his feet. Bagan used a hyper potion again. Godzilla stopped in his tracks, taking it back. Bagan gritted his razor-sharp teeth. Hellfire hissed within his throat, but Bagan's boast was not as taken as seriously as he would have liked. Godzilla just pointed and laughed at him. XE Gamora announced his return to the fight by thrusting his tail through Bagan's chest.
Hey,
Godzilla,
I wanna win!
stop hogging the limelight! Godzilla joined the fray by swatting Bagan's lower jaw. Yeah. Hot blood shot out of Bagan's cracked mouth, but the demon was far from beaten. EX Gamora's tail was too...
Seriously, you guys are making me vomit with saying that name.
What do you want us to call it?
Call him
EX Mary
Crybaby.
Sue?
Yeah, call him Crybaby.
Alright, EX Crybaby Mary Sue's tail was too close to Bagan's injured heart. If it would have been a few feet closer, the fight might have been over, and he would have spared us about another hour of reading this. Thinking quickly, Bagan jumped at Godzilla, impaling the atomic dragon with his claws. Who joined? Oh, I was like, what? Hold up. Impaling the atomic dragon with EX Mary Sue Crybaby's tail. Godzilla hunched over, blood dripping out of his mouth. Before his transformation, Godzilla would have fallen. Those days are... Yeah, those about hours of days gone.
Yep.
Godzilla planted his feet, rising to the face of the stalker of life with no fear, only determination. With a Herculean effort, Godzilla rammed his body into the horn sticking out of Bagan. Why is Bagan still have that horn in his chest, by the way? Shouldn't he have taken that out already?
Honestly, I think it's
It
from
wanted to
when...
look cool for the banner.
Yeah, and plus Kong. So.
Dumb.
Okay, because this is kind of bugging me on why Baggage doesn't take it out.
Yeah, I know. Why doesn't he? That's a good, especially when he can regenerate. I'm pretty sure
He
pulling
can
that thing
regenerate.
out would have.
I'm assuming the regeneration applies to his heart as well.
And also, didn't Baragon take the horn out?
He technically would have had to, yeah. Somehow it magnetically pulled
Because
back to the heart. I don't even know.
Because it said he was gnawing at it.
Even if he didn't take out the heart, how did Bagan regenerate? And then did he put the horn back in?
Well, let's analyze the plot holes later. We need a match that needs to finish.
Tired.
All right, let's see here. Okay, the pain was immense. Bagan felt his life force slip away. When Bagan retaliated, he did so with quick precision. Hacha. He brought up his tail to deliver a skull-shining whack to EX Crybaby Mary Sue's face. Sorry. At the same time, Bagan buried his claws into Godzilla's temple. Both EX Crybaby Mary Sue and Godzilla broke off the attack, while EX not Gamora regained his equilibrium.
Oh, there's that word.
Godzilla was not as fortunate. Even when his cells repairing the damage, the pain remained. Edge. Godzilla started blacking out. Wow, Godzilla. What a pathetic show that was. He's already blacking out. Wanting nothing more than to kill Godzilla once and for all, Godzilla begged and bounced his body off of him. Boing. Godzilla went sailing into the night.
See ya, Godzilla.
Bye, Godzilla.
From miles.
Miles away.
When Godzilla landed, he was out cold. Wow. That was not even 2 paragraphs, and Godzilla's already out again.
Tisk.
Several Gyaos tore open his motionless frame with sonic beams. Before they could find out what Godzilla tasted like, but Gamera's fireballs blew them apart. He's here, by the way. The Guardian of the Universe rushed to defend the King of the Monsters. Bagan howled in outrage at the Custodian.
There it is!
There it is! Bagan's like, don't clean that mess up, come on!
Seriously, I'm like Godzilla right now, just laying there, just accepting my fate.
Godzilla should be dead by now. Godzilla should be dead by now, by his hand. Knowing the only way to kill Godzilla would be to cut down his allies, Bagan changed strategies. Gamera charged up into the fireball, channeling more energy than normal. Bagan broke into a sprint, shaking the earth with each step. I'll do one more. I'm feeling frisky tonight. Gamera fired a supercharged fireball. It blazed into Bagan's speeding form, detonating. Bagan quickly emerged out of a cloud of fire, pushing Gamera aside as if for an afterthought. Out of my way! Gamera never hit the ground. In midair, he sucked in his limbs into his shell and spun rapidly. The sharp edges of his shell combined with its superheated propellers made quite a cutting combo. The Gyaos learned this the hard way, the dumb idiots. When Gamera spun around to take back operated decapitation by ducking. I love how simple that is. It's like, duck. When he stood right back up, EX Ultraman X Gamora, spinning mask, bounced off the back of his head. Bagan woke up with his face buried in the dead earth. Fighting to his feet, Mothra Leo. Wait. Fighting to his feet, Mothra Leo bombarded him with scorching energy blasts. Bagan felt the soil churn and boil. Mothra Leo's attacks were so hot. The earth beneath him had transformed into molten slag. Bagan pulverized Mothra Leo with hellfire, killing him. Shooting the paladin out of the sky. Thorny tentacles eviscerated Bagan's flesh. Woo!
Oh yeah, Biolante's here. I forgot.
Biolante finally did something.
Drenched him with acid. Biolante roared at the devil beast, having finally decided to get off her ass and move. Bagan reprimanded her by... I love this. Bagan reprimanded her by incinerating her entire upper body, killing her. So, with the core still intact, Biolante brought out to go to heal.
Oh, okay. She's gone already.
What's scene one? Wow.
Oh, hey guys, I'm doing something. Never mind, I'm out.
I'm out. And now, enough was enough! With a soul-piercing scream, Bagan commanded his Gyaos, whatever was left of his Gyaos horde at this point, to attack while he moved closer to Godzilla.
He should have just done that at the beginning of the match when he controlled them.
Yeah, but that would make sense. It would mean that Tom couldn't drag this out as long as possible.
Yeah, we could have left a lot earlier.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mothra, Leo, EX, Gamora, and Gamera were left to fend for themselves because Biolante was idiot. Bagan marched closer. Within reach of Godzilla's skull, Bagan wash it. Pass.
All right, Nakoda, your turn.
If you want to participate, that is.
Yeah.
Dakota? You there?
Yeah.
Dakota.
He's become one with the void.
Dakota could be an Ultraman or Biollante.
I am just stunned by Nagota's excellent performance. It's like we're there.
The mic stopped. BT dubs.
Well, Alex, I guess it's your turn.
No, I'm like Godzilla.
Someone else could take their turn, tell them feel like it.
So, who goes now?
Gray Shot could go.
Okay.
And then I'll jump in when I feel like it.
I didn't. Okay, I actually didn't know we
if
could
Akane speaks.
I didn't know we could skip our turn.
Well,
okay, so can I just...
Well, since we're taking rolls at monsters, I'm like Godzilla. I get to skip.
Okay.
Hello?
No. You're like Biollante.
hang
You come
on.
in for a moment, then
Dakota's
leave.
back.
Then
Dakota's
leave
back.
literally the same paragraph.
Okay. Jump in.
Yeah, I switched to the phone.
So, I didn't skip my turn after all.
Okay,
Right, so
Nagoda, read.
Where we at?
Godzilla sprang to his feet, crunching Bagan's face with his jaws.
Okay, so... Wait. Godzilla sprang to his feet, crunching Bagan's face with his jaws. Bagan cried out as Godzilla powered up his dorsal spines. Radioactive fire consumed Bagan's head. Parts of it had been blackened by the intensity of Godzilla's flames. Other parts had been blasted off by the explosive force. Godzilla swatted Bagan's face. Bagan answered with a vicious strike to Godzilla's ribcage, shattering them so hard that some of them were poking out of his skin. There was a space between them now, enough for them to charge each other at full force. Godzilla and Bagan's collisions sounded like thunder, but the sound of the two gods ramming into each other was drowned out by an even more disturbing sound: broken bodies. Godzilla could barely stand. Bagan didn't want to. Godzilla could barely stand. Bagan didn't want to anymore.
Alex is currently bagging right now.
No, I like how Godzilla could barely stand. Bagan didn't want to stand.
No, I did our comparisons right now.
Their shortcomings didn't stop them from tearing into each other. When Godzilla lunged to attack, Bagan discharged a bolt of plasma. It mutilated, blasting it off its shoulder. Godzilla's painful wails were so loud that all life on Earth shuddered. The stump on Godzilla's shoulder was emptying with blood. Godzilla's feral eyes focused on the horn sticking into Bagan's chest. Godzilla seized it, pushing it further into Bagan's festering heart. Red, blackish smoke seeped out of Bagan's chest and mouth. Godzilla could hear whispers emanating from the smoke, but the closer he listened, the more he didn't understand. He was a primitive creature, incapable of understanding what he heard, but his instincts told him it was madness. Akane wept. Kiryu's instruments picked up and identified the sounds. The sounds weren't garbling nonsense. They were languages. They were languages, many unknown to Kiryu's database. There was no scientific...
Kiryu wasn't designed to pick up languages.
There was no scientific explanation available about what they were seeing, but something in Akane just knew. They were the souls of Bagan's victims. Every single creature he had slain, Bagan consumed their essence, using them to fuel his seemingly indestructible body.
Really?
In this version.
Mm-hmm.
Can I use this version of Bagan the Soul Stealer, please?
As the leader of the KWC, I can resoundingly say no.
And there's the buzzkill.
Yeah.
This was beyond blasphemous. Mothra Leo, Gamera, and EX Gamora were so stunned they almost lost their lives to the Gauss. Akane screamed for Kiryu to avenge the Dishonored dead, but the robot was not in the condition to fight the strongest creature in the cosmos. Bagan swatted Kiryu aside like an insect.
Get here.
Kiryu nearly fell apart. Godzilla roared. He didn't know the full story. All he knew was if he pushed the horn deeper, he'd undo Bagan's evil. He pushed. More and
Push,
more,
Godzilla! Push! It's almost here! Push!
escaping Bagan's
Ooh.
tainted being. Their shackles no longer tethered them to the most evil beast in creation. Some souls took on the apparitions of Titanosaurus, King Kong, and the first Mothra.
You know,
Bagan
all the kaiju, all the worthless kaiju that died in part 1.
Yeah.
One
Except
who
for
did
Kong.
like one thing.
Apparently, Anguirus wasn't a part of this, apparently. Bagan had to put an end to this. Now. Bagan fired Hellfire and summoned Diamond Storms, mutilating Godzilla until he could no longer stand. Bagan couldn't believe Godzilla was still alive, even after all the punishment he had put him through. It didn't matter now. Bagan was certain he'd finally have the kill he always wanted. Akane couldn't see straight, even though she was screaming a bit earlier. The lights in her cockpit were blinking on and off. When she tried rejoining the battle, her computers informed her of the bad news. Kiryu was so badly damaged, they couldn't send the signals needed to allow Akane to operate him. She pounded the computers with her fists in frustration. It couldn't end. Should this be dialogue or? I don't know. It couldn't end like this. That's when Akane felt a strange lucid sensation. It was as if she were dreaming
She
around
dropped
drugs.
some acid.
Suddenly, ice cold water. It wasn't really there, but Akane felt. Soon, the metallic disappeared, replaced by the sea. She couldn't see anything, but knew she wasn't alone. Towering over her was the first Godzilla. That's when Akane felt something in her hands.
And then
It
I
was a
kind of
strange-
shot herself because she saw the first Godzilla right in front of her.
It was a strange device, built by a scientist many years ago. It was the oxygen destroyer. Everything started making sense. These were the last moments of in Godzilla's predecessor. These were Kiryu's memories. Why was he showing them to her? That's when I kind of figured it out. These two lived separate lives, but they died together. They died as one being,
No, they
Wow.
didn't.
along with all those other fists that.
Yeah, well, I just want to see Akane seeing this endless fish swimming around. Like, wow. Let's keep in mind,
No.
didn't Sarasota wipe out the entirety of Tokyo Bay?
Now, many years later, they had returned as the heroic defender of Japan, Kiryu, even though they didn't want to.
Even though they didn't want to. Even though Sarasota logically should not be in Kiryu as well.
Unless they stuck his skeleton somewhere in the machines too. They were about to finish what they started. And they needed Akane's help.
Wait, that's who's next to Akane. It's Sarasota. Just to put it.
Hey there, Akane.
Alex, dialogue.
Akane whispered in the dark cockpit.
Let's end this together.
What a great metaphor.
Kiryu's once amber glowing eyes disappeared, replaced by red light.
Edgy.
There was no logic Kiryu after so much damage.
So he fell
Yeah, right.
over.
Yet right as he did, powerful Blue Zero Cannon had been damaged earlier. Fire it from afar. Not that it.
He hits Godzilla.
Kiryu and Akane knew what had to be done. Activating his rocket thrusters, Kiryu raced to defend his son, Godzilla.
Daddy is a coming!
Daddy!
Actually,
Back-
it's also shouldn't Kiryu was grand?
It depends on the Godzilla.
Yeah.
All right.
Bagan was charging up one final blast. One that would annihilate Godzilla once and for all. Weakly, Godzilla struggled to rise as everyone else ate popcorn and watched the two fight. He couldn't do anything anymore. If he had a few more minutes, his wounds would heal, and he could fight on. Bagan denounced the fallen king of the monsters, mocking him with his malevolent laughter. That's when slamming his metallic bulk, or what was left of it, into Bagan. It was enough to throw off Bagan's aim. Hellfire scorched the winds above Godzilla, destroying some unseen mountain in the backdrop. Bagan couldn't control his rage. He tried breaking Kiryu apart with his bare hands, but the robot showed strength and determination it didn't have before, because it was a robot. Kiryu gripped the horn, stabbing into Bagan's heart, and then a spectacular showcase of strength ripped it out. All the souls, including Good Guy and Garrus. Fighting whatever paradise Bagan.
I was really hoping Tom and Garrus' soul just rejoined the fight.
Yeah. Well, that's why they didn't rip the horn out. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. They didn't rip the horn out because Bagan would have been weaker way earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, where was that? Oh, yeah. In retribution, Bagan vowed to dismantle Kiryu. No, he wouldn't stop there. Kiryu, in the soul of his human pilot and all the other fish stuck with his skeleton, will be the first ones he shall feast upon this night. He will rebuild his power off them. Akane had other plans.
So he'll consume Akane's soul, Godzilla's soul, and Dr. Sarazawa's soul?
Yeah.
And fish.
Question mark?
I had other plans. She knew the moment she activated the Absolute Zero cannon in the concentrated do something thinking about her fallen people, the planet, and pushed the button without a single regret.
Nothing happened. She went like that. No, it kind of pushed the button, but because it was malfunctioning, it stopped. She's like, come on.
Blue screen of death shows up.
Kiryu disappeared in a blind...
Oh, go ahead.
Is it working?
Keep going.
Okay. Kiryu disappeared in a blinding flash. Extremely cold temperatures washed over Bagan, freezing his flesh, bone, and blood. Bagan had been transformed into a splintering, frozen statue. But as his icy flesh crackled, his fingers twitched as he let it go.
Let it go!
Even without his souls to empower him, Bagan was a force to be reckoned with. But his current predicament caused his Gauss followers to fall into disarray. They turned on each other. Soon, thousands of Gauss were waging war.
Thousands?
Hundreds of sonic beams.
On this battlefield.
I made the note originally. All they had to do was fire straight down, and it literally would have won like about 10,000 words ago.
I know. Seriously.
I have a question. Do the Gauss actually need a leader? Because it sounds like if they're not,
no, they don't. From what I've seen in the movies, they do not need a leader. Like, I don't know where this whole ringleader thing comes from, but they do not need a leader.
Always under the assumption that Gauss could work dependently with each other, regardless.
Well, right. Yeah, Gauss could work with each other, obviously, but they didn't need a ringleader. Because
they're swarm of monsters. Yeah, Iris wasn't even the ringleader. He just happened to be connected or something. I don't know. That was weird.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh, this one looks slightly different than us. Let's have him be the leader.
Yeah.
No. So does that mean they have? So does that mean they think? I would. You know, it'd be great if Gamera is like, I am your leader.
That'd be funny.
By that logic, we could probably do that in the KWC.
We could.
Yeah.
Unless
Maybe.
Unless Buzz killed Grayshaw, it's like no.
Maybe. I don't know. I'll think about it.
We're almost. Oh, okay. We're almost done. Let's finish this. Come on.
Yes. How many? Okay. Martha Leon. Wait. I lost my place. Hold up. Okay. Soon hundreds of sonic beams lit up their black. Hundreds of sonic beams lit up their black wings. That rhymed a bit. Mothra Leo, EX Gamora, and Gamera rushed to Godzilla's side. While EX Gamora helped Godzilla to his feet, Mothra Leo knew what had to be done. He transferred his divinity into the guardian of the universe, Gamera. With a
he's the custodian of the universe, not the guardian.
With a thundering roar,
Alright, guys, let's try to stop with the jokes.
Yeah, I know.
I want to get through this.
Summoning mana. It was as if the gates of heaven opened to take all the souls that were escaped Bagan, heeding Gamera's call. Light empowered by the spirit of earth and all those other spirits that were escaped from Bagan poured into
Whatever.
Gamera. Mothra Leo guided that light in the form of 1,000 glowing moths. Bagan reached out, the ice breaking at his fingertips. His bottom jaw dropped off, breaking into icy shards.
One more thing really quick. Shouldn't Bagan be dead because Absolute Zero kind of frozen into molecular level?
Yes.
I think yes, he should in many respects, but also it was an uncontained form. But
Whatever.
Also, Godzilla survived it, literally with like barely a chest
Yeah,
wound
wasn't
directly
he?
into the middle.
That's a good point. Wasn't he while he did that? Or
That
did,
was
or
also
did,
that was also with water to absorb
or did
it.
Kiryu
Yeah,
literally
yeah.
throw Godzilla out of the way while he was doing that?
the plot demands it. Let's keep going.
Okay.
He was still strong enough to put an end to this. If he could only reach his enemies. Gamera's body was shaking. The power was indescribable. With enough energy pouring in, Gamera's chest plates opened. Bagan reached out to the chaotic Gauss horde, imposing himself onto them once more. They stopped fighting and rushed to his defense. Gamera's roar heralded the discharge of his mightiest attack. Orange, yellowish energy poured out of Gamera's chest. It had the explosive punch of a small hydrogen bomb, burning a mile-long trench into the earth. It closed in on Bagan, but at the last second, many Gauss dove in to save their master. For every Gauss that died, dozens more took its place. It was the final bout between good and evil. The light continued to shine, eradicating the vile winged reptiles. It was a losing battle for the dark. All the Gauss could do was buy Bagan enough time to form a barrier. Despite losing most of his power, Bagan was still a threat to the world. Streaks of Gamera's Mana Blast shot past the Gauss barricade, striking Bagan's energy barrier. Even in his weakened state, Bagan was strong enough to endure such a powerful strike. Gamera recoiled from the fiery energy at his command, dragging his feet as he was being pushed back by it. But Gamera feared it wouldn't be enough. His body couldn't contain this power for long. There must be a faster way to destroy these Gauss and hit Bagan with the full fury of mana. EX Gamora joined Gamera in his time of need. EX Gamora's horns pulsated with power. Channeling the potent power of Ultraman, EX Gamora unleashed an energy blast from his spiky chest. It was almost as strong as Gamera's attack. In seconds, the Gauss horde was obliterated. Even though it was weaker
finally.
than the mana beam.
Yeah, finally, even though there were thousands of them.
Yeah, I know.
EX Gamora and Gamera's energy beams intertwined, striking Bagan with their combined force. In the heart of the swirling inferno, Bagan's red eyes burned. No, his red orbs burned. He knew his time was short. His barrier would falter soon. Bagan's melting flesh evaporated from the sweltering environment. But beneath his ghastly exterior, Bagan's last defense surfaced. It'd take far too long for him to regenerate the damages. He'd be dead long before that would ever happen. So Bagan improvised. Gamera and EX Gamora watched on in surprise as Bagan encased himself inside of an armored cocoon. Their attacks broke through the barrier, washing over Bagan. They couldn't even make his cocoon budge an inch. But as seconds ticked away, the cocoon started to sizzle. If they had more time, perhaps they would have succeeded. But their time was short. All this power at their disposal was temporary. Within minutes, it would be no more, and Bagan would return from the dead once more.
Minutes.
I'll take over from
Yes.
here.
Yeah,
Since I'm the
Okay,
Godzilla.
pass.
Since I'm the Godzilla, this is the perfect time for me to read.
Yes,
Godzilla.
absolutely.
Godzilla found Kiryu's broken heads.
Alas,
taken
poor
up by
Kiryu,
Bagan's
hardly I
will
knew thee.
from earlier. Godzilla didn't feel like he could contribute much. Yeah, that's kind of like me right now. First, good guy Anguinus died. Then Cannibal Rodan sacrificed his own life to resurrect him. Now Kiryu was
Now
gone,
Dad
saving
was
Godzilla
gone.
in the process. How quickly time... Yeah, I started to feel better once I read. He once didn't get any better. Or need any help. No creature, be it god or mortal, could kill him. But that was...
Except for that one human guy, but we don't talk about him.
Godzilla was a sentient creature on the lowest level, driven mostly by instincts, but he felt emotion experienced love and tragedy probably more than anything.
What is this, Shakespeare? Get on to it.
For a time,
Get on to
Godzilla
it.
started to feel like he was part of a family. Now he was alone once more. Godzilla thought about his friends and how he failed them. No! He fought for them, given his all. Godzilla stared at Kiryu's reins, understanding the bond his relative felt for other organisms. However, little Godzilla, he knew he had smeared one another.
Oh, shit.
How they were essentially the same creature. They were
Bullshit.
not only... Oh, is someone trying to interrupt me, or...
But bullshit. Go get it.
Oh, that's just Tarly throwing
Tom.
in extra funny words. So,
Gonna call you on your sick time or not? Continue.
They were not only as one dead. They were not only as one dead. What?
they were not only as one dead, they were as one living.
Oh, they were not only as one dead. Yeah,
I see
that
what
still
they're.
doesn't...
I see what Tom was going for.
I hate Tom. They were one as one living. Godzilla thanked Kiryu with a soft growl. All Godzilla excelled only in destroying other lives. Hey, this is like me. With the newly rising stars in the night sky bear witness to a new destiny, one chosen not by the fates, but by the king of the monsters himself, Mud Diabetes. Yeah,
Diabetes.
Crybaby and Custodian were nearly drained. The tower was about to fail. Bacon laughed from within his cocoon, knowing he had finally...
Just call him Bacon?
But when a familiar yet terrifying roar silenced him, Bacon panicked. Godzilla joined the protectors of the world. Atomic energy flooded his dorsal spines, made an eerie crimson lumens. Scarlet light spewed out of his gaping asshole.
The atomic flames acted strangely. They took a familiar shape. Godzilla couldn't believe his eyes. For a split second, Godzilla's atomic breath took the shape of a fiery cannibal. Godzilla's power and cannibal's essence fused with Crybaby and Custodian's energy blast, cutting a burning swath through Bacon's cocoon. Dozens of chaos broke off, fighting to strike the heroic monsters.
I thought the
They're
horde
still
was
alive?
obliterated.
Weren't they all dead?
Whatever.
Yeah, when they were most vulnerable, but AFK girl finds shot out of the earth, crucifying them in midair.
Oh my
Biolante.
God, she's back.
We have
She's
another
screaming,
one.
"This is my moment!"
Yeah.
Biolante's like,
We have
Holy
another
heal.
certifying kaiju.
No. I hope Biolante instantly goes down again.
Well, let's keep reading
She
and see.
jumped on a wounded chaos as her allies finally vanquished the Avatar people. The power was overwhelming. Bacon's cocoon was sent flying for miles.
Oh.
Yay!
Hear the stars, million miles away.
It disappeared in the horizon.
Sequel bait.
When Godzilla
Bagan's blasting off again!
energy beams ignited Bacon's departed shape. They couldn't tell rising or if it was really an extremely large explosion. When the shockwaves disemboweled the earth and slammed into them, they discovered it was the latter.
Then they all died. The end.
As the smoke cleared and the air returned to the breathable conditions, Godzilla's red eyes and dorsal spines returned to the natural color, and Rodan was resurrected. Huzzah!
Yeah, right.
The custodian relinquished the power of mana, returning it to the Earth Spirit. Mothra Leo reassembled himself, joining his comrades in arms. Biolante seeded the barren wasteland, planning to one day turn it into a paradise in honor of their historical victory on the dead.
That's
Now, on
gross,
your left
Biolante.
here's the memorial wall, and on your right
Biolante,
here's the
that's
quirk.
gross.
And on
Biolante,
the right-
gross. You can't let your seed everywhere, Biolante.
And on the right, we see Kiryu's decapitated head lying there.
Yes.
And over there, we see that idiot Bagan.
Mothra Leo joined her in the pollination project. Yeah, Crybaby transformed back into a baby state, returning the power back to its proper owner. Ultraman's dome-shaped eyes flooded with soul. Morning.
Well, it's because all the
They
souls
would-
aren't there anymore.
So better come back to life.
They would let others do the celebrating for them. Now they must go and a befitting rest. So what? Ultraman jumped into the sky, eager to get the hell out of there and away from Crybaby.
Ultraman went to go to take a shower because he felt dirty.
Mothra Leo and Biolante faded into the scenery. Yeah, let's get the hell away from that
Yeah,
crybaby.
let's just leave, please.
Rebuilding what the Earth had lost. It was what Leo's mother would have wanted him to do. Crybaby walked into the direction of the rising sun. The sun
And
immediately
he
panicked.
burned.
Then the
sun went back down.
Perhaps he
No,
simply
No,
wanted
no.
to go wherever there was light. He harnessed it once. He was one with it. The sun is like, oh fuck, not again.
the sun just instantly starts going back down like, get away.
Someday, Crybaby would like to be a part of it. No, leave me alone, Godzilla
I
and the
want to be a
Crystal-
part of it. I want to be a part of it.
Wait, was that? Wait, is that
I'm
a real thing? Was
important, right?
Gomer a part of the sun or something?
No.
I don't know my Ultraman.
Praise
No, I think
the
it's supposed to be an
sun.
Ultraman thing. So
Godzilla and the Custodian would last leave. For the longest time, the two titans had hate sex. Many of
And then Gamera started. No, and
Few
then
numbers they
Gamera
were,
started
please.
Cleaning things up.
believed they fucking hated each other, but not today. No, today they became lovers. Gamera bid his new boyfriend farewell, flying into the morning sky. Godzilla roared in thanks to the Custodian of the universe, picking up his arm. When did he lose his arm?
he lost
He
his
lost
arm
his-
earlier.
Oh, I
Bagan
don't
blasted
remember.
And it
off.
never grew back. I just.
I
So he's been
was like
sitting there with-
Godzilla, I was too tired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Godzilla attached it to the stump of his shoulder, letting it heal.
That's because that's how his regeneration works. He can just replace body parts.
Letting it heal, Godzilla sensed how his life had changed for the best. Yeah, he got a boyfriend now. There was once a time when Godzilla was an arrogant, lonely king. Well, now there's two kings. Unless
king
you
and
wanted to
queen.
make Gamera a girl.
Yeah.
Now
Well,
he had come to realize he was not above his kind. No, the king of the monsters was one of them, and as long
He was
as
still above them though.
as long as he had lovers to protect and cherish, Godzilla would never be alone.
So
about
I like
Sun?
how over this whole epic match, not once does Tom mention Godzilla's sons.
No.
Or Banda
Out
or Bagan.
Out of everyone Godzilla will be fighting for, not once is his sons mentioned.
Well, it doesn't need. You don't need to reference them. Like,
Or
In this match,
two other,
I think you do. I
and two
think in
other
this
potential combatants, Manda and Baron.
oh yeah,
Oh yeah. But I feel
Yeah,
like
you still
for
got
this,
two friends.
I feel like for this match, at least Junior should have been mentioned. Come on.
well,
Miles
Alex,
away.
finish it off.
Yeah, he used
Next
it.
to Gorosaurus.
Bacon's broken husk of a body stirred. He regained.
And then Gorosaurus ate Bagan, and then Bagan regenerated again.
Gorosaurus was killed already.
Who? Oh, he's dead. I forgot.
He regained consciousness inside a gigantic crater. He was not in one piece. Bacon didn't know how long he had been lying there. Perhaps he has been slumbering for days, maybe even weeks. All Bacon knew was he was still alive, and he regretted it immensely. There was a void in Bacon's heart now. He knew
Along
why,
with a
but the
giant
truth
hole
frightened-
there, too.
But the truth frightened him beyond belief. With no more souls to keep him company, Bacon was truly alone.
No
Void
more
was where-
sleepovers! Oh no!
Void was where a soul of his own once resided. Now it was an empty place. Bacon's brief moment of sadness was usurped by his unforgiving wrath. Fueled by sexual rage, Bacon vowed to return to his former glory someday. And when that day comes, phrasing, Bacon will parade over his fallen enemies, and the world will howl in despair.
I'm
He
just
will-
imagining.
King
No, no, no,
Ghidorah
no.
dancing
I'm
on
just
the
im-
graves.
I'm just imagining Bagan like literally hosting a giant parade. He's like dancing and marching along the center.
Yeah, and Grand King Ghidorah is going to be there with them.
Yeah, let's go. Let's
he'll
go.
be dancing.
And
Let's finish it.
Space
We're almost
Godzilla
done.
will
We're
be
almost
down,
done.
and Space Godzilla will be down a few blocks chasing them.
The band will be
Alright, let's
playing,
finish
they'll
it.
be
Alright,
marching
guys,
al-
we're almost done.
We're almost done. Let's finish it.
Yeah,
We
let
need
me
to
finish
finish
this so
it.
we could jerk off.
Okay, please.
He will feast upon the souls of the people of the earth. Then all shall join them in the hellish furnace of his pot. There is no
Of his
rest for
belly.
bacon. No, I meant it as pot, like cooking bacon.
Ooh.
There was no rest for Bacon. Bacon wouldn't allow himself to rest in peace, for there's no rest for the wicked, but there's no victory for them either. Winner, bitchy
Winners.
stepsister.
Yeah.
No, hold on, let me her bitchy stepsister. Custodian who always gets penetrated in the wrong hole. Kama Gidon. Mary Sue me, the guy who came in too late, and guy who was AFK the whole time.
Oh my god. So does that mean Bagan wants my finger licking good souls, right?
Holy crap.
Oh my god, it's over. It's finally over.
Harley, you only came here for the other half. Good gravy. Yeah. Are you guys still alive?
It happened. Someone
Okay,
wrote
okay.
it.
All right, can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
Yep. I can
Okay,
hear
good.
you.
Oh boy, that was.
You weren't
match
recording,
56.
were you?
I was
Did,
recording, yeah. Like literally,
Right.
it kind of cut off after Ultraman. So, yeah.
No. What's gonna happen is Kaiju War Chronicles Committee is like, sorry, we have to re-record all of it.
Yeah. Sorry, guys, I've got to re-record all of this. I lost part 1 in the process too.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm seriously. Again, I'm like Godzilla. I feel a lot better now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy crap!
Oh,
that was.
This drained
That
me.
was painful. I'm sorry. That was
Yeah.
painful.
I mean,
It was a long, painful read, but I think the match holds up for the most part.
Right, the match
Yeah,
holds
for
up
for
for
the
the
most part.
For the most part, it holds up.
Right.
Well,
It's
should
just
we
that I
look-
don't know.
okay.
It feels. I mean, I guess it warrants being this long given how many monsters there are, but I do feel like
No,
there could
it
have
does
been.
not deserve to be this long. Absolutely not. No, it does not. It should not be this long. For God's sake.
Actually, you're right. It should have been longer.
No. Okay. This shouldn't have even been.
I got a phone call as that ended, and let me just say this: it holds. Yeah, I agree. It holds up, but dear God, that took a while.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
This should not have been a two-parter. This should have been one match. This should
Well,
have not been 2 parts.
Well, the recording was 2 parts.
No. I mean, like the matches. There should not have been There should not have been a sequel. It should have been everyone versus Bagan, and that's it. There should not have been a fallout.
And Harley's
enough.
freaking out because he can't name his own matches.
Yeah.
That's-
I think you guys mean Bagan versus a bunch of monsters fighting monsters.
Just oh my god.
Holy crap! This thing is going to be a
Oh.
monstrosity. Oh man.
Well, hey,
Is that a pun?
who wants to read match 100 or 164 or those other
Holy
matches?
Gosh.
Well, no one wants to hear read the ladder.
I would
Oh,
sooner
no,
kill
no, no.
myself than do that.
I will read. No. I will personally read one match 164 by myself because there's at least entertainment value in how crappy the dialogue is.
Right, but
There's at least something
boy.
funny because we don't have. By the way, when we get there, we don't have to make fun of it. It just makes fun of it. It makes fun of itself because of how bad it is. It's hilarious.
There's actually something, kind of a little game I wanted to. Well, not really a game. I mean, you can
Is
interpret
it
it that
called
way,
a
but
drinking game? Because we'd all be
No,
dead by the end of this.
no. It's when you guys were first reading this for the very first time. Who do you think which kaiju did you think was gonna live in this match?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, when I first read
honestly
this.
had no idea.
I knew Godzilla was going to come out on top.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
I
Godzilla
was-
was pretty obvious, but after that,
I
Honestly, I
wasn't expecting I thought Biolante was going to bite the dust,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
she
Gomora.
really should have.
I was
thought
kind of
Gomora
expecting
was
Gomora
Gomora.
to die.
Gomora did not need to survive.
I honestly wasn't expecting Ultraman to come back in a really
Yeah.
stupid
Yep.
way.
Yeah, I knew Godzilla, Gamera, and Mothra Leo were gonna survive. Those were my guesses.
You know what? I would have been fine if it was
I was
just those
expecting
three that
Batra to
survived.
live, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
How
Yeah,
come?
Batra, man.
Yeah,
I'm actually
Batra has tanked it out the whole way. He's a trooper.
I'm a little disappointed that Batra didn't do much in this match.
Yeah.
I thought Batra was gonna kill Kuma Sagami.
This was, I think, this was when everyone thought Batra was like really crappy.
I mean,
And
he
not-
kind of like kind of wrecks Megalon. Like he does a fair bit, but
Yeah.
But honestly, my biggest complaint about this match is how long it takes a Bagan to die.
well, to be fair, you literally came into the match when he was resurrected. So,
No,
like the
even
first
if I went into the
7,000
original-
words, yeah, first 7,000 words or so, it's no Bagan. It's just literally all the other monsters besides Bagan. But yeah, I do agree. The fact that it's like Bagan is just, I don't know. This I feel like there's a very similar problem here as there was with Godzilla vs. Gamera, where it kind of forcefully drags itself out much longer than it needed to. I think like the first.
It almost tries to be very preachy, I would say.
Yeah.
I'm still going back to this earlier. This match would have been a lot better if it was Orga eating Bagan's heart, and it was much more.
That would have made a big improvement.
Right, totally. That would have been like more under KWC credentials for one, and two, it just ultimately would have been much better, I think.
Yeah, and a lot more interesting.
Yeah, and this is honestly kind of a problem with Tom, kind of like the other KWC's match in general, but the fights drag on so long. Like, I understand the monsters are tough, but come on, they're not that tough. They're not that resilient. That's ridiculous.
Or it's either they drag on or they have nothing to do, like Anguirus and Baragon.
No. Violante especially. She was only there for like 2 scenes. And
at least in the second half. In the second half, she was only there for like 2 scenes.
Which is ridiculous.
Yeah, so I agree. There was an imbalance of how the monsters are executed. Like, some monsters are easily more overpowering than others, when others, like I said, Violence is a perfect example of this. It's like, she's just not given a whole lot to do. Or Baragon's like, maybe he could have actually done something interesting besides eating Bagan's heart. You know?
I'm still serious about Baragon. We should just get rid of that one loss, because that doesn't really count.
That's a good point.
I say we get
remove that loss from.
I'm not gonna be able to, because he's technically in the match and it still counts. So
at least the
as a loss
score counts as a loss. Like, even though the roll is
it doesn't even count though. He didn't fight anyone.
He died, but he didn't actually fight anyone. Unless you want to count, you lost to what? Bagan's heart.
Baragon used bite, and Bagan used transformation.
That doesn't count.
Like I said,
you know what, Grayshaw? I'm gonna start a protest on the forums. If you don't.
All right, but I think another problem with this match is just how tough Bagan is. I understand he's a super monster. I understand he is supposed to be tough, but
yeah, that's the thing with these, like,
it's
trilogy.
kind of ridiculous.
It very much over-glorifies Bagan, and it just comes off as like the strength after a while, especially after all the crap he goes through. I've just noticed that let me finish my thoughts first. Like, all the crap he goes through is like the strength no longer comes off as scary as it does annoying.
Scary.
And no, he doesn't come off as a threat. He's more of an obstacle now.
Right.
He's not something.
I thought he was threatening in the previous match. Like, I thought Bagan vs. Everyone handled that very well. Like, it was a lot of monsters, and it's like everyone was giving it their all. It was very interesting. like, yeah, the match was decent, long, and interesting. But here it just feels like
they actually killed Bagan.
Right here, it just feels like it was just trying to embolden Bagan to, become I don't know. It just tried way too hard and kind of misfires back on itself. The
first half of this match when Bagan wasn't involved was a lot more interesting.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
I honestly think that it should have been this. If Tom really wanted to, just everyone was Bagan, then the good monsters versus the bad monsters, no Bagan.
And then that's where Orga could come in, where he just takes on.
Totally.
That would be a lot more interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And time for a bit of self-promotion. The Bagan match Andrew and I worked on is a much better example of how to write Bagan as a strong character without overstaying his welcome.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, seriously, the first half of this match was a lot better than the second half.
Yep.
The second match, the second half kind of felt rushed. Actually, I kind of felt like Tom was kind of trying to push it out of the way.
Yeah, because the first half is basically everyone's dream of all the good, not all the good monsters, but good versus evil. Like, there's a big team going on here.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then Bagan comes back, and then things kind of start falling apart because Tom.
That's the thing I've noticed too. Things kind of fall apart the moment Bagan comes back.
Because Tom.
The monsters who die in the first half have more creative deaths than the ones that get killed by Bagan in the second half.
Because Tom,
Yeah,
it
kinda.
kind of felt like Tom was kind of rushing and trying to get some monsters out of the way, so he couldn't really think through about what that meant. Like just having King Ghidorah leave.
Yeah, and Legion kind of comes out of nowhere after being knocked down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and she regrows her horn somehow.
And then it gets snapped off again like a twig.
Yeah, the only two kaiju that get killed in an effective way in the second half were Destroyer and Dagara. Because at least Dagara was killed by the Gauss and Destroyer was killed by Crybaby.
That's also something. That's also something I found.
Zagara did go out pretty awesomely compared to most monsters.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's another thing that kind of have a problem is that the Gauss are very, considering how much there are on the battlefield, this should be used way more effectively. Like apparently there are thousands of them.
Yeah, it should have been like the actual other threat. Like, I mean, and literally Iris should have been like space laser, like 100 Gauss fire all their lasers at one point.
Here's an idea. Instead of the evil monsters versus the good monsters, once Bagan dies and once Iris fights the big one, all the good and the bad monsters versus the Gauss swarm.
That would have been awesome.
Here's a better idea. After Orga eats Bagan's heart, the Gauss see Orga as like this. Organ can actually take. So maybe the Gauss.
I might know. How about?
Else he'll fucking kill us.
How about this? Orga eats Bagan's heart, but also consumes a Gauss.
Yeah.
So strong. He's one of us.
Yeah. They maybe take a bite out of Iris just for the.
Yeah.
You remember how Bagan kills Iris with that thing? Yeah. Maybe, or Iris.
Yeah.
To take inspiration from how Bagan just kills Iris.
Oh yeah, totally.
It would make
the whole sneaking crap. Just have Iris gets knocked, Orchid, the helpless Iris.
It would have been more effective if Bagan somehow the line. Who did he kill with that? I forgot.
Iris. Yeah, that's why I kept saying inspiration from Bagan.
Yeah.
Iris.
Why
can we have written this match?
Well, they could have. I agree with you.
I say we did this match. Have Orga be the main
banner of it.
Yeah, have Orga be the main villain.
Just a question. Can we actually do something like that?
Oh, and here's the thing. Half of it is written out for it. Just keep the first half, but rewrite the second half.
Yeah. By the way, just a quick question. Can we actually do that?
Well, I wouldn't really recommend it, but I would say I wouldn't mind the idea of executing kind of like a spiritual remake, if you will. Like, of course, don't steal Tom's words. Kind of like write it out for yourself because KWC whatnot. But like, if you guys want to tackle a spiritual remake and say, here's our take of match 56 and here's what we would have done, I think that's fine.
Kind of like an alternate universe. Just say, like, what we could do is just have it say continued from match 51 and just.
Or even kind of redo, or well, I'm going to express my ideas in the behind the scenes, but anyway, I am going to assume everyone shares the same opinion of the match. While it holds up fine,
the first half is great.
Oh, right, the first half is solid. The second half kind of breaks apart due to Bagan, ironically, and it holds up okay. But it is just kind of like, it does get preachy and very long-winded by Bagan's resurrection.
Yeah. Out of the trilogy, 51 is the best match in the trilogy, but if we're talking about individually, I think 56 is the best just due to that first half.
Yeah, the first half of 56, I wouldn't say they're not bad, but for 56, it really kind of brings the quality down by dragging it out too long.
Yeah, I kind of agree. The part could have been parts or monsters that could have been.
It's just the fact that the match has one premise and it doesn't change its premise too often. It doesn't do like
an aerial battle. It doesn't. It really just keeps the ground. It keeps to using the same tactics, which I think is something that match 100. I think there's a little bit more diversity in that regard. But I think that's why with these larger matches, you need the changing areas, and you need to go from place to place to place, or have a sense of progression, because otherwise it's just an elongated battle.
Right, because the Gauss literally almost do nothing up until a point. For example, like you have,
it's like the Gauss could have won instantly.
Yeah, exactly. Or everyone could have took on the Gauss. Like
hell, it stated at the beginning of the match, Gamera could only take 3 or 4 of them before he would have fallen.
And that's why I would make note is if you have a larger match like this, you need to be able to make every battle feel like it's worth it, and it doesn't, like for Bagan just super regenerating every few seconds. It kind of loses its luster. It's like, okay, when will Bagan finally die? That's why if you do have a larger match, for instance, I would make note of, well, it doesn't have that many monsters. I would note that 140, which one? 140, 146. That's probably one of my favorite and probably my best match that I've ever written, and that's because it has one sense of story. You could go from beginning to end, and there's different monster battles throughout the entirety of it. You go from Jet Jaguar fighting with Gara, on the island, to 2 Garas, to multiple Gauss, to Zilla and Gara, you keep changing it up, but
definitely.
each one feels like a natural progression of the story. Same with
exactly.
Same thing with even Joshua Reynolds, the newest versus everyone match. You have a sense of progression with all these new monsters.
See, that was done perfectly.
I would actually say Andrew and I's match with Godzilla vs. Bagan, it was really long, but it was a sense of progression. Like, it wasn't just Godzilla versus Bagan fighting for about an hour. We kept raising the stakes.
Yeah, with like
we kept the time. It's a different phase of a final boss fight. A first phase. Can you hear us?
Okay, I can hear you guys now. Just start over what you were saying about match 190. So.
Okay. Tyler mentioned the human subplots. That was kind of my idea, because if I remember correctly, the humans didn't originally have that big of a role. And I kind of asked Andrew, can I have the humans play a more important role and give them more time to shine?
Yeah.
I felt like the match. Not to break up the action of the monster, but I felt like because they're there, I want to make them and have their battles feel just as important as Godzilla and Bagan fighting. So I wanted. Yeah, no. Go on.
Yeah, even though there wasn't really a human characters in match 100, I think that did a lot better than 56. I mean, because it kept switching from big bads at a time. At one point, Bagan was the big bad until Mogira, Mechagodzilla 2, Kiryu just repeatedly shot at it. Bagan's regeneration isn't insane. It was still there, but it wasn't a big nuisance, and it actually wasn't annoying to the reader.
That's another thing I think the big match, the Legends versus everyone versus everyone match 100. It didn't just have two. It doesn't just have. It's one monster. Then you just swap out who's fighting that one monster. It's different monsters fighting each other. It makes you feel like it's a legitimate chaotic free for all, not just everyone sitting and waiting for their turn.
Yeah, and we had that little fun subplot of Manda fighting Ibira.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. That's the one thing I remember from match 100. But
you can have even though there's a big battle going on, you can still have other smaller fights if you can allow it. It's not going to take away from the story if you focus on 2 other monsters fighting while the epic battle is going on. Kind of like Watch 190. The human and the alien forces, they were going at it to the throat while Bagan and Godzilla were still fighting. That didn't take away from the monster fight though. They just happened to be going on at the same time, and there was some brief interluding. You can have that instead of just the monsters are fighting. Oh, then the humans are fighting. blah 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 blah. Okay,
guys, I have another thing to add.
Yeah,
I have to pee.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And with everyone's,
I'll be right back. Hold on.
And with everyone's opinions officially stated, this has been match 56. One big long.
See you for something not as long, and thankfully, probably not as good.
And we will see you guys next time for season 5.
5.
Yeah, 5.
5-ish.
Season 2.
Yeah, right. Season 2. Season 5.
Season 2.5.
Yeah. Until then, everyone.